here. Welcome everybody to this, I guess, weeks. It's not really week. The second fucking monthly. I'm on top of my game today because I'm sick. It's all of the California's fault. Game with the Black Nergigantes. So, I guess we'll just get into it because that's what we do now. I'm gonna do the starting music for the recap because I remembered this time. So, we begin our game with a recap where our players, after successfully finding the wizard Rewix and bringing him back to Poke Village, decided to go on a hunt while they are waiting for Rewix to kind of do some research. So you had about a week or so. In the first 2 or so days, you decided to trek or head to the ocean for a nice, lovely time on the beach, which I'm sure you guys all enjoyed. During that time, you ended up down in the abyss of the ocean in a whirlpool, I guess, in a enclosed ancient space that housed ancient ruins at the bottom-ish area that you can see. TK. What the fuck is TK? I see it on the chat. Ah, yes. And in that area, you hunted or you fought a Namiel to much of Mage's enjoyment, getting electrocuted every single round along with everybody else but Flight. And thanks to Flight's quick thinking of switching a lever either up or down, diffused the electricity in the area, allowing you to kill Namiel without Mage floating up to the surface while everybody else was lower.
I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, Flight, you just press a switch, you're like, this isn't do fucking anything. And then, well, yeah, so we begin our game, I guess, in this case, with you all just recently killing the Namiel. You've already carved her up and got all of her loot. Flight, I'm pretty sure you did. Did you?
Yes,
Yeah,
everyone did.
yes.
I wasn't there, so I thought it would be a terrible taste for me to have my Namiel stuff in already.
Well, you can't put in your gear in between games. You have to do it during either in town
I know.
or during a longer short rest if you succeed on those smithing checks. So
when I succeed on the smithing checks,
if, of course,
there's no if.
there's always a natural one. But in that same vein, you are all currently, or at least 3 of you are currently swimming in about a couple hundred feet above the ground. Let's go ahead and give us our little map view here just to kind of give you an idea where you are all at. Oh, fuck me. 1 second. I just realized I did not do something. Did I transition really fast? I did not rejoin as a player on my Firefox, which means the stream is not transitioning properly.
Well, then, as a side note, the giant head's name was called Olmec.
Thank you. We were talking about Legend of the Hidden Temple, off camera.
This is extremely important. You all have to know.
Yep. To myself. Of course it is. What?
We're Pepsi. What do you mean we're Pepsi?
I don't know. I felt like that's an insult, but I'm not really sure.
No, upside down, it says he's dead. I learned that one the other day from Twitch.
Oh.
Well,
Okay,
Pepsi does taste like death, so.
DD.
He's dead.
I always spell it like we're dead. DAD. I'm like to my kid. He gets really mad at me.
Is your kid a grammar Nazi?
I've done it forever. And he's just like, no. I think he's just fed up with my shit. So.
You're a good parent then.
Yes. So, just to give a context, this is the cave that you are in for the stream that is watching. You had about 300 or so feet from top of the cave where you came in through the whirlpool to the bottom where the ruins are. The ruins themselves, as I stop this music because it's honestly at this point getting in my way. So the ruins themselves, because I only gave a slight app description last time. This Triton village city, you only can see a certain section because your dark vision only goes about 60 feet. Though, actually, no, I lied. It all lit up because of Flight. So you see a good chunk of this thing. It's not a massive city, but it's definitely sizable. And looking down at it, at least the ones that are still up above the city and not in it, you see what I would describe as kind of a coastal city, like in Greece, where you have like the white marble buildings all kind of set up above the road, just to kind of give them like a kind of a sense of power, being above everything. And you can definitely see ones of different heights. There's lots of columns and symbols on the columns on tops and bottoms. You see around some of the homes overgrown coral that were used like as planters at one point in time, however long ago, along with some like other like sea floral. On the eastern side of the area, though, it goes to just darkness. Probably about, I'm not gonna give a distance, but the eastern side of the city goes to darkness and drops off into more undersea cliffs that you can't see where it goes. And as you, I guess in this case, Flight, we're gonna have you kind of step out of the building you're in. As you kind of look up and you see the group, as you're all breathing easily because you're water breathing, with a group with a dead Namiel about 100 or so feet up above you.
One last courtesy thing before I go. I reload the ballista I used to snipe the Namiel from last time, because you never know when something comes down here again.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I'll swim back to everybody else.
Okay. So you're all probably, he probably swims back during the time when you guys are carving it or just finishing up and stuff like that, passing stuff out. What do you guys want to do? Are we just heading right back to town? Are we going to explore the ruins? What is the plan?
While we're down here, might as well explore ruins a little bit.
Hey guys, I flipped the switch. Anything happen?
I think you created a null zone.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see anything happen.
Well, the Namio looked like it tried to do something, but nothing happened.
Well, of course that thing happened. I shot at the ballista.
Before that, God, you're stupid for a smart person.
What you're mean to say is I'm accurate for a person underwater.
We're all underwater here.
I was about to say that.
But yeah, I was looking around to see if there's any, other weaponry around here. Maybe like some weird Dragonator, but let's see if there's anything on the towns at least.
Oh, we can check.
Might as well have a look.
Just as a check, Heavy, you're here, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I'm like, is his mic working? So I didn't actually check that before we started. Okay, so as you head down, I mean, there's just kind of a bunch of buildings. There are a few larger ones than others. But if you all want to give me a perception check, maybe I can give you a better idea of what you catch.
Perception. Oh.
Perception.
Yeah, just kind of looking around, seeing what you see.
Rolled a 6.
Nice.
Roll greater than 6.
Hey.
Gerathor is maybe Gerathor, you don't have as much of interest as the rest of them do. You're like, yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah.
But, I mean, or it's just like, you're looking, it's like, it's all fucking buildings.
No, he definitely doesn't care enough. He's probably looking over the Namio to find like a keepsake.
Yeah. You probably like pull one of the whiskers that they have.
Try to pull the skull off.
Yeah.
Are you holding
You
it
gonna
out?
give that?
Stop.
You gonna give that to Jacob too?
Jacob, put this on.
No,
He's just like
that's
set on him. So either way, as you look around, Shaseth, I mean, you see mostly crumbled buildings for the most part. There are a few, I kind of mentioned there's larger ones. You do notice a graveyard in one spot. You can see some like stones. There's a few large statues kind of in rows in spots that you notice. Flight, what catches your eye is there's a large building near that eastern side where it kind of drops off into more abyss that is quite large, which, was something of interest to you. Mage looking around, you don't see anything that specifically like piques your interest, though the whole place probably is like, I wonder what's in here. That's kind of at least what you guys get from like a quick like glimpse looking down from about 100 feet above the sea or the city.
Well, there's a big building over that way, guys. I checked the other big building over there, and it had nothing in it except for that switch and a ballista.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, as you guys look around, you definitely see some spots here and there where there are other like siege weapons.
we could split
Oh,
up.
now I see them.
Well, the
And-
place is lit up.
Me and Gerathor go check out that graveyard because maybe there's undead there or something. And you and Mage can go check out the building.
Are you gonna go grave robbing?
I mean, it's archaeology at this point.
Advanced grave robbing.
I guess the only person that could judge you is the sea god that gave us light.
Yeah. I mean, what's the difference between grave robbing and archaeology?
Time smoked.
The distance between recovery and deceased. The time frame.
So I see Gerathor is a advocate supporter of archaeology because he makes so many things dead.
Yes.
All right, hey Mage, you want to come join me far away from the murder reptiles?
Yes, I'd like to try to find out how that machine worked more than anything else.
We can do that after we check this other building because I want to get away from the possibly being smoked reptiles.
Traveled off.
Hey, man. That's racist.
Not racist if it's true. I'm also a reptile.
No.
Yeah, birds are reptiles.
Birds are birds.
I will bring up the scientific proof. Called Wikipedia.
So, as Flight determines himself to be a reptile, as Shaseth is like, you have no scales. You each Flight heads off, and I guess Gerathor and Shaseth head down towards a graveyard as Mage, kind of not hurries along, but travels along towards where Flight's going. Let's go ahead and just start with. No, I'm going to start with Mage and Flight, though technically Gerathor and Shaseth, you would reach your graveyard probably first. So,
Really are reptiles.
mm-hmm.
The more you know.
Yeah, but in Shaseth's eyes, fuck that shit.
You can't convince me with your facts.
Alternative facts.
Knowing Mage is an anti-vaxxer.
Oh man, why do I need vaccines when I can just cure myself of disease?
I'll kill your disease by killing you, and then I'll revive you later.
Oh man. So either way, let's go back to it. As Mage and Flight, you travel for about, I'd say 10 minutes or so swimming to this thing. It's on the very far end of the city. As you arrive, the building itself is surrounded by kind of a large, that same white marble. Almost everything here is made of white marble or like limestone. And so it's got a nice, like, fancy gate that is on site. It looks, I guess, in a sense, both of you give me a history check.
That works too.
I'm just using intelligence, but I always like using history in general. Not you, Gerathor.
Oh, I thought you said we got there first.
No, you guys are at the graveyard.
Okay, I thought that's what you were doing.
No.
No, that's Gerathor's check to see if you can figure out birds or reptiles.
Yes.
Are they? Mage is not having good luck right now. Isn't it history intelligence? Why do you only have a 2 in intelligence as a wizard?
I'm a level 2 wizard. I don't really need it.
That's fair. I thought you were mostly wizard. I forgot which one you were mostly of. So
It's a tie between sorcerer and warlock, basically.
okay. I mean, realistically, looking at it, I guess really in your fields, even with a low check, I probably should just give it to you guys. It looks kind of like a research facility in a sense. It's got the standard kind of look of a couple multiple tier, like second level floors with like just square buildings in this entire area, but it's all connected together. A quick glance of it, it's probably about 300 or so feet in all directions. It's a like big old square area. And as you look down at the door, as you kind of come to the entrance of it, past the gate, you see the doors just burst open. The door itself is probably about 20 feet wide by about 30 feet tall. And basically it's just been crushed open. Not crushed open, burst open is appropriate.
I wonder why such a large door.
Well, probably because of that thing that came out of it. I point back at the floating corpse.
Do you think they were trying to study it here?
I see no reason that super aquatic creatures would not try to study deeper sea aquatic creatures.
It's strange because you would think a building designed to house one would imply that it's not the only one.
Well, then we better get searching quickly, because if there's more than just one, then I want to get here before whatever happens to the first one happens to me.
Agreed.
So you're going in?
Yeah.
That's my
Okay.
intention, yeah.
Okay. And so as you head in, we flash back over to Gerathor and Shaseth. Gerathor, Shaseth. You guys travel down not far, maybe a couple 100 feet away, down to a graveyard. The graveyard itself it's I would say a medium-sized graveyard. Most of the graves themselves are adorned with, instead of like placards, they have statues depicting some sort of Triton. No idea who they would be necessarily, but almost each and every one does. There's a couple here and there that have small placards, but that's kind of what you see. Some are broken, destroyed. Most of them are actually still in quite good condition.
Huh. Do I see anything especially fancy? Or maybe like hunter-like?
Give me a perception check. Gerathor, if you're looking for anything fancy, because maybe Shaseth says something to you or not, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna just say that I could assist and give him advantage on his roll,
Okay,
if that's easier.
that's fine. Haha,
Better.
it's better. You helped Gerathor.
I assist.
So as you're looking around for just signs of like hunters, maybe you're looking for statues of someone like armor with weapons or something like that, you probably spend, I'd say, 2-3 minutes swimming up and around the area versus like walking along the lines or the rows. And you do come upon a section of the graveyard that does have depictions of not necessarily hunters, but like warriors, with most of them having some kind of like insect like glaive weapon. Because as you know,
Seems up your alley.
yep.
Yes. I see they too were proficient in the greatest weapon.
I agree, 100%.
Oh, I shrug my great sword.
I mean, your good sword.
From the far
There's
distance.
your swords.
No!
If they were so good, why are they all dead?
Because they were beaten by people who were better than them.
They got old. Really old.
Ah, yes, the greatest sword of all time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean that's kind of what you see. A lot of them with like insect like glaive weapons. You do see a few with looks to be, I guess, because I mean light bowguns are actually from an ancient civilization, I'm pretty sure also. So you would find like some with like light bowguns and heavy bowguns also kind of like positioned either like some are holding them like on their shoulder, some are like in hand. Other ones are just like aiming down at the ground. Being underwater, these are probably the more typical weapons you would see, so it makes sense for them to have them.
So the weapon's just part of the statue, or are they actual weapon?
They are part of the statue.
Well, I suppose we could go digging. Or we
Archaeology.
could look around more. I don't know. It's up to you.
It is time for an archaeological excavation.
This is when we watch Gerathor like pull out a bunch of like rope and sticks and stuff and starts like set up a barrier.
Yeah. This is legit.
All right, so
Probably
I'll be really
buried in
impressed if I
3D.
come back and it's done that way.
I don't. Are you guys? So, is this fictionally happening in your head this way, or we just see you guys
No,
just like
this is
digging-
physically happening.
Okay, so you actually are doing that. I like that. All right, so
Some rope.
all right, so they
I
start.
am
You start
professional.
cordoning off areas of where you're gonna.
Got a pickaxe, I guess, that can use as a stand.
Okay. And then I would say with 21, you guys pick out like. Let's see. I'm gonna make a dice roll here. You find two that are a bit more ornate. The statues are more finely crafted than the others. That are the ones that you guys choose to like, because you're not sure how much time you have, so you're at least doing these two at a minimum. Before anything else. So those are the ones you're cordoning off right now.
Good thing I have
Alright.
10 mining picks.
Do you have a shovel?
I got a
Yes.
great sword.
Because I say it's gonna really fucking suck to dig with a pickaxe. With one line at a time, it's gonna take you like a week to dig one hole. It'd be better with your hands. But as you're cordoning this off, we head back to the other two. As Flight and Mage, you enter into this underwater facility. And as you enter in, it's one of those things where you kind of get that, you feel like you should get like the ominous dripping of water, a slight like little hollow wind coming through, kind of like that spooky feeling, but you're underwater, so none of that happens. It is just pure silence and darkness ahead of you. I don't know, I believe Mage, you cannot see in the dark. I'm not sure about Flight.
Flight had given me gloves of night vision.
Oh, the goggles, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, goggles,
Flight,
big
do
gloves.
you have dark vision or no? You're muted.
Okay, well, you can hear me now.
Yes.
Good.
I use the light cantrip. That's not the light cantrip. It's my little light device I use from Artificery, and I use my headlights.
Okay. So as you enter, you see what seems kind of at least similar or familiar to you, Flight, from the previous building. There's definitely some advanced technology in this area or in this building itself. But where you're at right here, you just kind of see what looks to be a receptionist desk. A few like carved out chairs of marble, and a couple doors leading further back in. These doors, I guess, actually in a large hole between these doors, like above the reception desk.
A large hole, like it was punched through, or is like already
Yeah.
made?
There's rocks and rubble down below inside this room, like something burst from and outwards. Which
Well, it looks like whatever our problem was came from above there. I look towards Mage saying that.
Can you re-describe it for me?
yeah. So you have, I can do better this time. So you have the reception desk, in the room that you're looking at. There are two large, the 10-foot wide, 10-foot tall, like normal, or 8-foot tall, like normal, like doors on either side of it. There is directly behind the reception desk on the wall is a massive hole that something came out of. Probably roughly, you'd guess. Your best guess at the moment is the Namiel that swam up already, because there's rubble and debris all over the ground where the reception desk is at.
Underneath or a hole like as if it burst out of the wall?
Through the wall.
Okay. I would say we try the doors first before we enter the hole, because most likely it seems to have broken out of a holding cell. And if we follow the doors, we might get to the room where they would at least observe the creature from that cell.
I agree, but first things first, I'm going to check the reception desk because you never know if they left some kind of indicator or a map layout of the building.
And that's
Mhm.
true.
You are here.
Boop. So okay,
Go ahead.
you go up to
Like,
the.
it's like a super mall kiosk.
Which research are you looking for? Please go that way. No. So you go to the reception desk. It's the typical like sci-fi looking-ish one where it's got the nice curve to it. There is a chair that is made of marble once again. that is in everything is made of marble in this place. Everything. It's what they had use of. It looks though, it's like contoured and curved, so like you kind of sit in it with flight. It's really fucking comfy. It is super comfy. And as you sit down, kind of just like look, like you put your hands on the desk and just kind of like look around to see what you kind of spy. There is no like computer terminal or anything like that. There is what looks
What's
to
a computer?
exactly. There's not really much, I guess. But give me a perception check. Let's see if you find something. There's at least not much to the naked eye. With a 10, just kind of like glancing about, you don't really. There's nothing that really like catches your eye. But Mage, you have a passive perception of ridiculousness. No, it was Heavy that does so.
No, that was heavy.
Ha ha! So,
Quick question. Sorry, this does matter. So, Mini Orc turned back into the into his jewel. Do I get
Correct.
access to Jewel's ability until Mini Orc comes back? That's he's accused of advantage on wisdom perception checks.
No, only because technically he gains that benefit, and your benefit is Mini Orc. It doesn't transition between them because I'd be having 3 trinkets then.
Okay,
So,
making sure.
I wanna cast a spell
Okay.
on. Do I have? Yeah, I have sorcery points. I'm gonna cast a spell and I'm gonna twin it.
Okay.
On both me and flight. That'll be all my sorcery points.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use what is it? Enhance ability.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use Fox's cunning, so we have advantage on intelligence checks.
Okay. Cool. So you both have advantage on intelligence checks for the next hour.
Yeah.
As you search through this place.
Since I only know you to cast the spells, like what did you do?
We just helped our brains fire faster.
Really?
We don't want to spend that much time inside this place, so thinking
Uh,
faster will help us.
In which case, I pull out my not magnifying glass and begin investigating everything, like the super sleuth I am.
All right, go ahead. You can make me another check. Since he cast a spell, you can try him one more time.
Since it's intelligence, I'm
I
gonna use
will let
investigation.
you. Yeah, you can investigate this time. That's completely fair. So
23.
23. So as you look around, you're like, there's nothing here. Then you just like kind of put your hands, like, start like feeling around. Like, is there some kind of hidden compartment somewhere, some kind of button, anything like that? And as you you find a button under the desk. Like you can feel it. Do you press it?
Before I press, I'm like, Mage.
What's
I
up?
wait. What does this button do as I press it?
And Mage, he presses the button. In your brief, like a kind of panic, you guys start to hear a creak as you turn around. You watch as the doors open.
Why would you have a button to open a door? Just open the door. Oh, you know what? It is a reception desk, so I guess when they can buzz people in.
Why is it all the way back here by where you keep your feet? Or fins, or whatever Tritons have.
Well, I guess back then they'd have their reasons, I suppose.
Investigation due later, but not right now. Right now, there's doors to look through.
And as the creaking kind of stops, they don't like thud, but they stop, and then you hear a loud slam of something off in the distance. Deeper in the research facility.
Suppose there might be other specimens of lesser size.
You think
Although
they're
how they
trying to make
survived this
Namiels?
long. Could be smaller versions. I wouldn't know how they survived this long unless they somehow managed to eat either other specimens or one another.
Do you think it might be that might have been the apex of Namiels that we just killed?
It's hard to say. Is it possible to tell when these giant holes were made? Because I believe that even if it wasn't a specimen, it could be at one point something broke out and this became a nest.
If this was normal rock, we probably could tell about the time frame easier. But since it's all 100% marble, I'm gonna guess it's all 100% marble all the way through.
Basically, yeah. It's like and like looking at the wall itself, it's like 2 feet thick marble.
Is there any sign? Well, I guess from standard things, you can see what if it's actual shear break or if it's like burn, like there's something burned through the marble, like melt through it.
Yeah, you can look.
Versus,
Okay.
More investigation.
So you don't necessarily need investigation. As you look at it, it looks like it was broken through. It does not look like there's any burn marks, other than a couple maybe like lightning, like kind of like arcs through some spots from the Namiel itself. But there's no specific like wear and tear that would tell you exactly when this happened.
Mhm.
Same thing with the doors. The
safe
doors
to say-
themselves are metal, but there seems to be no rust on them. And that kind of, I guess, fits with the idea, kind of, with, I guess, from flight, from especially your, your fox gunning right now, with the machinery that is still working from the switches that you used in this agency that still work and cause some kind of magical effect.
Well, this place is definitely meant to house and use magic because those things still work. But whatever caused this, as I point to the hole, is definitely a problem. Also, I've noticed that there's not been any plant life that I've seen down here at all.
I did mention coral and stuff like that growing, like overgrown, like in the residential areas. Kind
Well,
of
I meant,
like gardens.
Seaweed and such like that.
I know. I mean, I mentioned like other sea flora. So
Okay,
there is some.
Is there anything like growing in this building? Things that would be like other forms of life is what I'm wondering.
Gotcha. No, there is not. The floor itself is still quite smooth and intact. Throughout this, at least this reception area.
Okay, but there's no coral in sight that we can see then.
Correct. I mean, there's probably like one potted plant with like dead coral from like forever ago, because it didn't have any room to grow, and there was where it was located at. But otherwise, no. There's almost no plant life in this reception area.
All right. Well, hey, Mage, at least we have an idea how long ago this could be, because we can at least track how dead a dead coral plant's been.
That's true.
It could be anywhere between yesterday and 300 years ago.
Woo!
I think we should proceed forward with caution, because we clearly might not be alone here.
Another thud. Off in the distance.
Stealth mission begin.
He's already stealthy. As we cut back, as you guys enter, we'll do your stealth checks after. But let's go and cut back to Shaseth and Gerathor. Gerathor, Shaseth. I need to update your levels. I just realized that you guys are actually the wrong levels on the stream now. My bad. As you are both, finish cordoning off these two graves. You begin your work. If you would both please give me athletics checks, and let's see how long it's going to take you to dig up these graves.
I'd also like to do a divine sense for undead.
Sure.
Roll a 2.
There are no undead in this area. Nothing that you can detect.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it stays that way.
So, are you each doing a separate grave? And is this like a competition so you can get to the casket first? Is it you're working together on one and then moving to the next one? What's the plan here?
Oh, you know us. It's always a competition.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to make it a best 2 out of 3 for that to see who's the fastest, make it more fun. So let's go ahead and do our second round, as Gerathor is definitely pulling in the lead in the initial.
Roll an 8.
Ooh, as you guys are even at the end. So you both kind of, Gerathor, maybe you're like seeing him like he's slowing down or he's going slow. You know what? I'm going to let him catch up. Let's make this interesting because it's too easy just to win outright. And then we're going to do one more check and we're going to see how it goes. Winner take all. Winner take all. Winner take all.
Yeah.
21. Yeah, so Shaseth, he was playing the long game. He's like, I know what Gerathor is going to do. He's going to slow down. I'm just going to destroy him at the end. So you both.
No way, I hit the mouse button first.
Too early, son. Too early. So as you're yelling as he's driving by you. So You both probably spend. I'm going to go with like 20 minutes to dig up everything, get the dirt. Keep it nice without damaging anything. As you hear Shaseth probably about 5 seconds before you, Gerathor, hits his coffin and starts clearing it off and stuff like that. Tosses a shovel up. It lands perfectly in the mound of dirt. Same thing as you do. You toss it up and just whoosh, right in there. As you're both staring at 2 caskets, unopened, slightly dented from a shovel stab.
Shaseth hears a metal clang on his shovel
Mm-hmm.
and knows exactly what it is.
So,
I gotta wonder if we disturb the dirt and how the visibility is. Because they're all underwater,
you are underwater, yeah. So it definitely is a bit murky right now. Actually, no, it's not murky. As you toss the dirt, it falls like you're in above ground.
Interesting.
Was it metal sand?
No, I mean you can kind of grab it. It looks like dirt. It's one of the few places they don't have a lot. The roads are marble, the buildings are marble. They are lifted up on the ground, so the ground below the buildings you can see, and the graves and a few parks and stuff like that. But otherwise, it's a very white, white plaster looking area.
This place is weird.
I'm trying to think of that one place from actually, no, I forgot to mention that there's also a little bit of blue in there too, but that's my bad. Thought process of how you imagine it and versus how you describe it. But so yeah, you're both looking at 2 coffins right now. They're not. I guess it's not actually made of wood because there's no wood down here. So guess what they're made of, guys? Marble.
So much marble.
I mean, they have a lot of marble down here. As you, they are intricately carved out coffins though, with fine details, kind of like you would find ancient Egypt. The sarcophagus. Same idea. Carved out an image of the person once again, looking much like the statue above, with different symbols and lettering and stuff like that. Do either of you speak Aquan?
Nope.
You have no idea what it says.
Think we should crack these open or be, wrapping paper gentle?
I don't think we can be wrapping paper gentle with marble.
We can try to, pry it open. I'm just saying, do we smash it open or open it?
No, I don't know. Push the lid off. I assume it's raised and then just solid lid that probably just pushes off.
I mean, you guys right now though, it's buried down though, so you're gonna need to dig out a spot to be able to push it off onto. It might take you another probably 10 minutes to do.
We can lift them out too. We're strong enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's try and lift it out.
Okay, so each of you working together, grabbing a side and kind of wiggling your way under. You lift with your knees, not with your back.
Strong.
And yeah, it's heavy as shit, but you get them out, and there's no need for a check for that. As you spend probably 5 minutes on each one, lifting carefully, shoving it over to the side. You're both really tall, so you're still, even when standing in this grave, you're still above the ground. Your head is at least. For each of you, as they're sit atop the ground.
I set it out. I help Gerathor set it on the ground. Then, looking up from the ground, I say, "Hey, Gerathor, look, I'm a wiggler."
I too join in with wiggling.
Ah, yes, the greatest of all gods. So, motherfucker. So, do you each push your? I guess in this case, since they're so, I mean, it's still pretty heavy on the lid of this coffin. As you both work together to push them off. As you do, it opens up. I need, obviously when the first one opens up, I need both of you to please make me a Constitution saving throw.
Breathe it in.
28 and 23, okay. So yeah, as you push it, this purplish, almost opaque colored liquid kind of spews out and spreads in the area. As you both swim away, holding your breath, you do not breathe it in or drink it in as you kind of step away. It definitely looks like this was trapped.
Dead fish juice.
After about another minute or two, it disperses and there's just an open coffin.
Much worrying about the other one's trapped too.
I can have a look.
No, let's look in this one first.
Alright.
So as you both walk forward, you look into the coffin itself. It is a completely decayed Triton body. It's just bones at this point. Inside with it, you see kind of a gaggle of treasures. You see their weapon laid at their side, next to it, kind of like it's like set not on the ground of the coffin, but actually like on hooks on the side. You see some gold or some bags. You see some gems here and there. They have some jewelry on also as well. And that is what you find.
Well, I guess put it in a pile.
Yeah, I'll inspect the weapon more thoroughly. Does it look like it is... enchanted's the wrong word. Like...
Slotted?
Yeah, slotted.
Looking at it in the case of like you're trying to see like if there's materials and whatnot on it. Yeah. As you kind of look at it, you definitely notice some, different materials or like, things on it that you are not familiar with. The weapon itself and how it's shaped is probably far more advanced than like your encyclopedia you have yourself. It's definitely interesting, I guess, is the best way to describe it.
I guess we take it with us and get the casters to identify it.
Yeah, we could call over Mage when he's done with his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll check the other one, but check it for traps first.
Not that we can really do anything about it.
Might be able to do something.
I guess it's worth a shot.
All right, and we will find out what happens next time as we go back to the other two. So, Mage and Flight, as you walk through the doors behind the reception desk, would you both give me your stealth checks?
Yes. Still. 14.
And no disadvantage because of armor or anything like that, I believe, because you aren't wearing it.
I also have an ability on my armor that lets me ignore that.
Nice. 14, 16, okay. So as you're both, maybe you're not like necessarily creeped down and like crawling towards it, but you're going cautiously and carefully as you're walking back into this area. As you do, you enter into a room. This room itself, you see, has what looks to be lockers. It has a couple benches in the middle of the area, and then you see another doorway directly in the center, in the back. And above it, a large hole with rubble and debris in the area around the benches.
This area was sealed off, so it probably punched a hole here, couldn't go anywhere, and then went back up again. Hopefully. So,
just give an idea. Like, you're basically looking at it like reception desk, wall. It burst through here. Next room, wall, the back there, burst through it, just above. So it's kind of just going straight. It looks like it came straight out of somewhere further in. It's not above or below. It's like just straight through.
Oh. And it doesn't look like there's any signs of combat in the house.
There's no dead bodies. There's no skeletons. There was no skeletons in the other space. There's no dead creatures. No nothing.
Let's look for bards, because I'm pretty sure whatever creature burst through, probably got hunger and ate them. And more of looking for usually aftermath of it, like anything between feces to burn marks or other things that would be related to an actual fight with elemental creatures.
So no elemental creatures, but give me an investigation check, or investigation, because you guys are using your fox cunning right now.
24.
24. Looking about, you do see some like claw marks in the upper sections of the room on all four sides. Like someone was trying to find a way out.
Can I identify this as the same claw max as the Namiel?
With a 24, you assume so.
Does it look to be about the same size as the one that went out? Was out there?
Roughly. You're kind of, you can't be exact unless you literally had the claw here to line it up.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's a pretty good fit. Another loud thud.
When we
echoing
were-
from further.
When we were walking around just the general area, like outside the building,
Mhm.
was there any signs of dead bodies anywhere on the streets or anything?
There were skeletons. I know I mentioned that last session. So there are some dead bodies in the area that are just skeletons. There's no actual flesh anywhere that you can see from any kind of like.
Moreover,
Mhm.
the size of the town relative to the amount of dead bodies, is it like few? Is it appropriate?
Give
is it, like,
me
a lot?
You can give me a intelligence check, and we'll just go advantage on that still because of fox hunting. 20. It seems like it's a low number of skeletons. Like maybe it was like either the place was partially abandoned. Maybe this is like a last group. You're not entirely sure, but from what you could see, there was definitely a lot less skeletons than you would expect for the size of the place.
I wonder if there wasn't some kind of breach and they tried to hold it back while evacuating, considering the amount of people there were. Because the fact that this area itself doesn't really have any signs of people in it during this breach, I mean, it would suggest that the breach happened with warning or it happened after evacuation.
Didn't some giant boiling event happen to you?
Somewhat.
I couldn't see it very well since I was so far away, but wasn't something happen around you guys around the creature? Like the water looked distorted,
He's talking about like the lightning you guys were affected by.
or him turning the water into steam.
Yeah. So-
Yeah, it sent a current through, but we're not. Are we still in water right now? I thought there was,
You're
like, a
still in the
weird
water.
layer.
The water is still
Okay.
there. Yeah, this entire place is underwater right now.
As a creature entirely native to the water, these Tritons probably would never have expected a sudden, immediate burst of heat or electricity out of nowhere that could go around corners with rapid speed.
So I will throw out. You're kind of bringing that up. They did have something that you used that nullified that effect.
And based on that lore tablet, they did somewhat know of the creature. They weren't entirely. It wasn't entirely alien. And that marble itself would pretty much prevent any kind of hard conduction for them.
Except for the main source of breathing water.
I guess let's continue further in.
I agree. Until we find out what's in here. Hopefully, it's nothing too bad.
So as you go to open the doors, they are stuck. They're locked.
They're locked.
Yep. Though there is a hole about 4 feet above it.
Mage. I'm gonna take a look up there.
I'll summon Kahudi in his fish form,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just see through his eyes as I have him go in there.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
that's easier.
So as Kahudi makes its way, up through the hole and into the next area, it enters into a hallway. This hallway continues on for most of. It's kind of like the main hallway throughout the entire research facility that you guys are kind of traveling through right now. There are different doors on all either side of the hallway, and how far does Kahudi travel? I guess is the question.
I guess not that. Oh, all the way down is. I mean, it's a quipper, so it's pretty native through water.
Mhm.
It shouldn't really hold it back.
Okay. I was just curious how far you were having to travel before like coming back to
I
anything
think
like that.
I can only see so far in that mode. Let me see.
What is does Quipper have dark vision? Because this is technically dark.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So you have your 60 feet of dark vision. So we know the hall is, I mentioned it's about 300 or so feet across from building side to building side. So in this case, you've already traveled a little chunk. So it's probably like another 260 or so, this hallway is. And on either side, just constant doors. Cootie travels most of the way, gets about 3/4 of the way, just seeing doors closed. There are no windows through any of these, so you can't see inside unless you open the doors. But about 3/4 of the way down, so about 80 or so feet to the end, I guess I can see the end of the hallway. Let's go that. It's 60 feet away from the end of the hallway. There's a large hole on the room to the left. Debris all out on the ground. There are no skeletons. There's no plant life in this hallway.
Okay, let me see. Do I have anything? I'm gonna. I guess let's just break. The door is made out of marble still, or is it a different?
It's made of metal, though it's not rusted or damaged in any way.
Well, I can try to open it if you like, Mage.
Yeah. I inform you of what's on the other side. That at the end of the hallway, there seems to be the large hole that was its trail, along with several other rooms.
First things first, I want to check the door for traps.
Okay, you can check the door for traps. Give me an investigation check. There are no traps that you can find.
All right, making sure there wasn't any security features and things like that because of this big facility.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thieves' tools to try to open up the door, I guess.
Okay. There's no lock on the door.
What would you say I would need to open the door?
I guess with the 28, you see in a sense, you see a panel on the left side of the door. So you could
try. Since I've never seen a panel before in a ruined. Mage, do you have any idea what this is?
A panel. Does it have any writing on it or anything?
There is, there's symbols, like, it's a touch, it's like, a 9-digit touchpad. 9 buttons.
Let me see. I will cast, I don't know, Ray of Frost to try to chill the area to see if any remnants on the keypad kind of freeze over.
Okay.
A weird dusting.
Yeah, I gotcha. I would say it's been so long that it's doubtful that would be around still. But also, I'm just gonna bring up, there is a hole 4 feet above you guys.
Yeah, but that's not.
We're aware, but we like safeguarding.
Fucking door boss. When you can bypass the door boss.
I mean, I'll just Eldritch blast the door until it opens if that's what you want me to do.
I'm just bringing it up. Like, you guys can do this, but there's an easy way out.
Yeah.
Eldritch blast.
I look at Mage, like, as much as I would love to, right now, the smartest thing is to go through the hole, and I'm going to complain with this panel later.
Good old panel.
Technology.
I want to take a picture of it with my not camera.
Okay, your not camera takes a picture of it.
Yeah, come back and study it later.
Yeah, as we look at it, it's like, is there a language written on it?
I mean, it's the numerical symbol. Do either of you speak Aquan?
I have comprehend languages, so I can always do that and then make notes in my book. That's a ritual. I can make it active.
Okay, you want to spend 10 minutes doing that?
I also have its sister language.
Is it less time for scribe? Yes. No. I mean, they look kind of familiar-esque, but not enough to really decipher what it is based off of that.
Okay.
But if you want to spend time doing the ritual, which do you get faster rituals because of your scribe wizard? I can't remember if you do or not.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes plus the amount of time it takes to cast the spell, so 2 minutes and 6 seconds.
Gotcha.
It wouldn't hurt to know the language here, so as we continue further on, we can actually, if there's any research notes they left behind, we can read them.
Yeah, I had used it once before when we were doing the writing on the wall.
Right.
Oh yeah,
that's right. Of what I was able to decipher.
Is comprehend languages a concentration spell?
No, it is not.
Can you do a ritual while concentrating on another spell?
Yes, because it doesn't require concentration. As long as it doesn't have the C tag, I'm not technically needing to refocus my concentration.
I was just curious if you had to concentrate on a ritual while casting the ritual or not.
Nah, it just takes time. If
If
the
you-
ritual, if the spell is concentration and is a ritual, then it does. But
I will accept
And-
these terms because it makes sense
Mage.
to me. I'm not gonna bother
While
looking
you
it up.
do that, I'll take a look. I'll investigate the room ahead of me while you do that. So it's gonna take you a minute.
okay, I'll send the Cripper with you.
So you float up and swim over into the hallway. There are rooms on either side, and there's basically rooms every about 30 or so feet. There's doors, to be more correct. But before we get to that, let's go back to the other two really fast and see what they're doing. So Gerathor, Shaseth, you guys have kind of gathered all the things in this coffin. And I have dogs. Hi, dogs.
Dogs.
No, there's no puppy cam right now. So, I'm losing my train of thought. So yeah, you guys have put all your, all the treasure and whatnot in kind of a pile currently. Weapons like stuck in the ground with the dirt next to a shovel or something, or laid gently next to the treasure. Hi, puppies. And what do you guys do with the other coffin?
Well, we check it for traps.
Yeah.
Okay, go and give me.
I'm gonna put my oxygen tank on
Okay,
to be extra safe. From
Okay.
this.
give me.
I look at it, I'm like, sorry, I only have one.
That's okay. I brought my own. I got another oxygen plate.
Alright,
I'll have a look.
give me investigation
I'm
checks. Either assisting or with someone gets advantage, or you can both make separate checks. Your choice.
I got a 1. What do you got?
6. I'll do advantage.
I'll assist you.
Okay. 20.
Good call.
Good call. So looking at this like marble encased space, you notice a slight, like barely etched little like curve at one spot in between the lid and the base. That's the only thing that seems out of place. And it's like burrowed in. You can kind of peek in. You can see darkness inside. But that's all you can really see. Like just barely, like looking through a keyhole.
Could we figure out how to disable it that way, or
I mean, it's there. It's kind of up to you guys on what you want to try to do.
it's just this kind of a squiggle?
It's just like a small, like
Like a
notched
borehole.
out, yeah, like a borehole in a sense. Notched out between the lid and the base of the coffin.
Try and like jam something in it. Or we could just open it because we're both wearing tanks.
Yeah. I can try to jam some dirt into it.
Yeah, we'll see if some dirt will like stick. If not, then maybe like just rip a bit of fabric or something off of something in my bag. Just like some extra clothes or something. Get them fixed when we go back to town.
We can stick some rations in there. That'll hold tight.
We'll start with the dirt.
I'll try the dirt.
Yeah, you shove some dirt in there.
Pack it nice and tight.
So I mean, as you're pushing in there, it's the dirt's just kind of falling in, I guess, in the sense, because it's literally a hole from outside to inside, just like a slight itty bitty little bit. So you're kind of just pushing it; it never gets packed tight.
I guess I can try to cover it up with my finger.
Yeah,
So-
it might be absorbed.
With the investigation on a 28, like you assume that they use this thing in here to set some kind of trigger in there, like as a final, like they closed up the coffin and they had to probably put something in there to like finish setting the trap. Either they pulled a string, they put the final pin in or something like that, and then pulled out whatever they were using to put in there. Somehow they did something to set it using this. So there could be a way to set it off while it's there inside or whatever it is. There could be a way to disarm it or try to. It's up to you guys what you want to try. But it's definitely they use this to set to arm the trap.
I think we just brood it with the tanks on
Yeah,
and
let's
just
try that.
go for it.
We aren't trap figure outers.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys just push it off the spot, oxygen tanks in hand. And as you do, would you both please make me a dexterity saving throw?
Oh, it's different.
It is different. 18, 20. You both succeed as you
23.
push it open, and as it gets about halfway, not halfway, as you get it like just a little bit, you hear a click, and the top kind of falls over and off, and you watch as like urchin needles just shoot out in all directions. As you both kind of like just lean back, and they just fly just past your face. Neither of you are hit at all. As you look inside and you see a another Triton skeleton, completely bare, just bones is all in there. Once again, this one has a little bit less. It has another bag of something, and you see on the side of its coffin, you see 2 pistols. Though they, instead of having I guess the you've seen Mage's guns he's had. This one, they're much thinner, like the actual the barrel. Yeah, they both do have them. You're right. They are much thinner on the barrel itself. And that's what you find.
Grab him, add him to the pile, and I would like to further investigate or like handle the presumably insect glaive, just to try and get like a feel for it, like weight,
Sure,
like distribution and stuff.
Sure.
Just how it feels in hand.
Okay. So as you kind of test it out, check it around. I mean, it's same as the other one. It's a little kind of awkwardish for you in the water because you don't fight underwater as often, but it definitely has a nice feel to it. It's well balanced. It's well crafted and made. You can see kind of runes inscribed through the handle itself. It's finely crafted for sure. And I guess as you guys are doing, it probably took you overall about 40 or so minutes to do all that. So we're gonna go back to Mage and Flight, who've only been in the other place for like 10 minutes right now. And we'll go through kind of what they see for a little bit here. If you guys need to grab like a drink, you're more than welcome to. I'm guessing this will probably take a few minutes.
No drinks for them. They get to starve.
Yeah. Dehydrate?
Yes. A smart game, not at a game.
Aha. So, Mage and, I guess Flight. So yeah, Flight, you are currently in the hallway as Mage is casting his ritual. There are doors on either side, about every 30 or so feet. And you know that where the hole is about 60 feet from the end, which is roughly about 180 feet away from where you're at now. So you cannot currently see it.
All right. These are old doors, like I'm gonna guess Triton size, which is around 5 to 7 feet tall.
Yeah, it's basically normal human doors.
Okay. The way I've seen, the way he's probably seen labs are mostly just yurts and such, so he's very unused to how these are built.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take a look around and see what kind of wonders I'll find here in the long forgotten labs.
Okay. Are you opening like each door? Are you going to where the destroyed room is? Where are you going
I'm gonna
specifically?
guess in my head I'm like seeing like glass windows and things like that.
There
or
are
I could be wrong.
none. There are no windows whatsoever down the hallway.
Okay, I want to check the first door directly to the left of me.
Okay. You go to the door. Yeah. Go to open it. It opens fine. Opens up, and inside you see what looks to be like you see an alchemist lab. You see beakers and stuff like that all over. Most of the place is shattered and destroyed, though.
I'll just sit there and wonder, how do you do liquid-based alchemy stuff underwater?
It's a good question.
Magic.
You know what? They might have some interesting notes about down here. I'm gonna take with all the beakers being destroyed. Maybe there any sort of written document might have been exist still.
Give me an investigation check.
Hello, roll 20.
Come on, roll 20. You can do it, roll 20. Come on. You can do it. A 27 is what it is, not a 28. Haha.
Click it twice to make sure I do it. Find the second investigations for my other room. Then
No,
Take that.
it's not how it works. I didn't call for that roll yet.
How dare you?
So, a 27, as you're looking around, you start looking through like drawers and, like pushing stuff off sides just to see if you can find anything. You find a partially torn piece of paper, which for some reason is able to stay in this water without getting soggy or destroyed or anything like that. It's movable. You can look through it. It's in Aquin, but you have a partially torn paper.
Okay. With this, I will take my many useful tools and stick it in my bag where it's going to be pressed between another book.
Okay.
And then I'll continue searching further.
Okay.
If I find nothing else in here, I'll go on to the next room.
I think that's for the most part. All you find is just that specific thing in this area. I mean, there's some. You know what? Roll me a d20. Maybe you find one more thing. Maybe. We're basing it on luck. No, that is all you find.
Why are you based on luck? Based on beautiful people. Then I'll win.
Yeah, but then that's just unfair to all the other beautiful people too that don't get anything.
Look, just because Gerathor get it all doesn't mean I will get it.
So, that is all you find in that room. And that you probably spent that time, Mage, by that time you would have finished to comprehend languages. And effectively you're able to read this as like the Aquin numbers. So, 1 through 9.
And 0. Don't forget
Yeah, and 0. Well, I said 9 numbers, so it is 1 through 9.
Aquans don't believe in 0.
0's for losers.
Yeah. So, you were able to decipher the numbers now and read anything else potentially Aquin for the next amount of time.
I swim over.
Oh, just made. You're back.
Yes.
I hand you my book with my pressed piece of Aquin literature. I found that as I'm proceeding to look at the next room because I'm so much interested in what's in here.
Cool. It'll take me time to read the paper, but
So, I mean, a quick look over as he hands it to you. You see the kind of the title at the top. It just says Experimental Potion Trial number 204.
is there a success on it?
The bottom of the page is torn off, so you do not know. It has a list of ingredients but there's a couple missing.
I'll hand you a equivalent of a pen that works underwater, which is just mostly chalk. Or no, it'll be graphite.
And none of the beakers contained any materials in them? They're all just...
If there were, they're definitely not there anymore. It's been far too long.
Oh, it'd be interesting to see what it is, what they were working on anyway.
Give me the graphite. Can you write down what it says in common or any other language that is legible, please?
You don't have to give me a pen. The spell scribe, I can straight up just make a magical quill that has infinite ink, and I can just write whatever I want.
I don't need your shit.
I look at that as like, I need to use you more often.
And I'll go ahead and translate it and write it down.
Okay. As you begin writing down, you hear another thud. The water kind of reverberates in this area as you do.
Close enough for water to be moved.
It is a loud thud. Oh, okay. So you mean you write it down if you choose to right now. You always can write it down another time if you choose otherwise also. But you at least wrap the scroll up and put it in your pouch so you have it.
Yeah, I mean, I know what it says to the least.
Yeah.
You can write it down later.
I might need to check these other rooms out later because whatever that sound is getting pretty ominous.
I guess let's get closer.
Okay. So are you guys going checking each room still, or are you going down towards wherever?
With
The
the amount of
ominous sound.
rooms, yeah, with the amount of rooms, I would just assume each one to be locked with an active threat. I think it'd be too much of a waste to spend that time there.
Okay. So, as 28 Vespoids later.
What?
It's patient 0 from 28 Vespoids later.
Oh, what? No, that West Boys.
Yeah, Westboids. So what are you guys doing then, I guess, in this case? Are you trying to locate the thud sound? Or are you going to the end where the broken wall is?
The thud seems to be coming and reverberating from the direction of these holes. That's what we're understanding.
Further down the hallway somewhere, yeah.
Yeah,
Though-
so we'll continue going down where
Yeah,
the thud is.
with your fox's cunning, there's no way this water would probably reverberate as much as it did, unless there was some kind of, connection to the hallway. And the only spot there's a connection is this lab you're in right now, and that hole. Every other room is closed.
Yeah, we'll continue closer to the hole.
Okay.
At the bottom of the sea.
Son of a bitch.
I deserve the best points. Bring them on now.
So, as you make it down to the end of the hallway, there's at least one more thud. Much louder than before. Water, you can just feel the force of the reverberation as you are sitting at the entrance to this hole. As you look inside, this room is long, and you see what looks to be kind of like fish tanks on either side of the hallway. And the very first one you see some dead creature decaying and rotting away floated at the top of their tank. It's about 30 or so feet in.
Decaying and rotting away, so it means if it's still decaying, I can identify what the creature is.
Yeah, if you want to get closer to it, currently you're about 30 feet away.
I asked Mage to send the fish.
Yeah, so I'm gonna cast light. I'm gonna cast light on Quipper Kahootie,
Mhm.
so that way he's a little beacon himself,
Okay.
and then he'll go in there and. Is the fish tank itself sealed, or is it like barred, like a
So-
little prison?
As you come, I guess as Kahootie comes to it. So as you're looking down the hallway here, it's basically about 10 to 15 or so feet of just walkway straight down into darkness. You then see on either side varying sized tanks. Some of them are, 5 foot by 5 foot, like squared cubes. Some, probably the next one over is like 10 foot by like 20 feet tall or so. This thing is definitely a 2-story size, like area, like warehouse-ish like look to it. And same thing on the other side of the area. You don't see, I guess as Kahootie comes up to it, it sees what looks to be a Ludroth, like a small adolescent-like one, currently floating at the top of this tank. You see minor cracks in the wall itself. It's not glass, because if it was glass, this thing would have burst through it. It's something different, and it's just in water. So-
Creatures starve to death.
And it's rotting away. But that's what you can see from Kahootie.
It's rotting away, so it must have starved recently then.
That's strange, but that would mean that something could put it inside. Because if the bodies are completely decayed, the only thing I can think of is maybe being in a sealed container allowed it to rot slower.
That would require it to have no bacteria whatsoever.
This is a research academy. I wouldn't be surprised if the water in these areas is meant to be more sterile and cleaner than anywhere else.
After it says that, I'm going to pull out my non-existent tools to check the, soon to be very existing tools to check the water and see how it's doing.
Just the water like around you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's going to take some time to do. So while you're doing
Hey,
that,
good thing there's a lab around the corner.
I during that time, what are you doing? mage. Currently, I mean, you've seen that tank. The next tank over, which Kahudi could have seen while it was there, and you guess you would have seen because of a little bit of the light that it's shining from it, is empty. There's nothing in there. It's not broken. It's not shattered. It's just nothing's in there.
During this time, I would just go with Kahudi further down to like observe all the tanks.
Sure.
You know those scene in the movie where the dude's just walking down looking at everything? That would be me right now.
Before you head I ask you, hey, if it's carvable, take some parts. Maybe we could. Maybe it's an extinct creature we've never seen before.
Gross. So, yeah, as you begin making your way down the area, you get about another 30 or so feet in. Most of the tanks on either side are empty or they're filled with some kind of decaying, rotting corpse. More often than not, as you're kind of looking at this thing, they're all small things. So you see another adolescent Ludroth. You see a goblin, a very small one. Probably in a fish tank about the size, like a 3-foot cube or so. Like the tiniest thing you've ever seen. Never seen one that small. And then you get to a spot as you kind of notice a slightly dimming bulb, like a light, on one just ahead of you. And you see a... what am I going to tell you see? I should have actually written down what I wanted you to see. 1 second. You see a... Fatalis.
We found a baby Fatalis. We all can tame it.
So you see, in this case, it's just a Gaju. So, you know, the giant catfish looking creature. And it is partially frozen. You see its head and it's kind of like wiggling, but it's basically from the neck of a Gaju would be. So right before its fins and back is unmoving. And the water there's no water movement at all.
How did you get frozen? I tap on the glass.
It starts to wiggle. Just its head, though.
I guess I'll use... I think that works with shape water. No, you can't. Can you not unfreeze things with shape water? You can just freeze water?
I always assumed you could do both, but...
It just straight up says freeze. I can move or let me just...
So the answer would be no, then.
Move or otherwise form simple shapes. You can change the water's color capacity. You can freeze. What?
No,
So you control its opposite. You can make it see-through.
I can make it super foggy, dirty water.
Oh,
that's rude.
It's all full of dirt.
So you see, yeah, it's just like,
Mm.
and as you kind of tap the glass, it's shaking. You're watching this, and you're starting to see it like kind of tear as it's trying to break like free of it, and it's starting to tear at its neck. You're starting to see a little blood pool up now.
If I speak to the creature, I don't have the beast speech, but if I try to speak to it, telepathically, does it respond?
It does not.
Could be just efficient. I guess all I can do is put my hand to the glass and mildly cast a version of Firebolt to heat up that water.
Give me an Arcana check. Let's see how well you control your spellcasting. 16? Okay. So yeah, it starts to heat up. The ice does not melt. Though you do see a slight like crack in the glass, just tiniest little minuscule one. But it does calm down slightly, but it does not unfreeze the water in there. And you watch as the little like kind of like light that was there starts to dim a bit more.
There's a light inside the tank?
There's a light like because like so you have the tank and then you have below. I probably should have mentioned that. There is kind of a panel that it's sitting upon. There's a slight like dimish light, barely visible, that has dimmed even further. Next to all these different buttons and stuff like that. There's no like writing on like it's not like unfreeze and freeze. It's just buttons. Obviously, whoever would have been working here would know what they do, or would have known what they did.
And the buttons, like you said, they have no symbols on them.
No symbols.
Hmm. Well, if heating it dims it, I guess I'll just change it to ice, and I'll try cooling the tank instead.
Okay. Another Arcana
Maybe
check.
maybe it was meant to be frozen.
13. Okay.
Well, I guess with this, I could actually just straight up U-shape water because I can straight up
Yeah.
freeze.
Okay.
Without an issue.
So yeah, as you then freeze the water that wasn't frozen at that point, and it freezes. The Daju stops moving. Nothing else is happening. The light does not get brighter or any dimmer. It just is where it was at after you used your fire.
Lack of power, maybe. Is there any of the signs of that thumping?
Yeah, I was about to say.
After
Then
it's
you hear
frozen?
you hear a loud thud noise further down into the darkness, farther beyond your sight.
Well, it's not you banging up against the glass. You one hell of a guy, you. I guess I'll just keep proceeding forward.
Okay.
I'll take one last look back at Adam, and then I just keep on going forward.
Okay.
That's the last time you saw him because you froze him for an hour and he's gonna suffocate.
He was gonna tear himself apart anyway,
So
or starve.
you begin making your way further down this area, and you start to see slightly brighter lights, though they're inset into the panel, so that for the most part you don't see them unless you're looking directly at them, which is why they're not giving off light into the area. And most of them are decently lit. Some are dimmer than others, and you're seeing frozen creatures throughout this whole area, unmoving, just in their place. And then you start coming to the bigger tanks, the ones that are, 20, 30 feet tall or so, and 40 feet long, if not longer. And then you come to one where you can see the water moving inside of it. You see a small dent in the glass itself.
So research experiments are samples frozen until needed. The Ludroth must have thawed out, which is why it feels recent compared to everything else.
And
I
as you,
wonder. Go ahead.
I would say, as you kind of you're thinking this, you see something coming towards you from this tank. This tank is deep. As it comes charging forward, you get give me a nature check.
Nature.
6. Okay. I mean, reasonably you've seen this before, but you don't realize.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Nature's intelligence. I have advantage in it.
Oh, okay.
Well, doesn't matter.
6. So
I'm too deep in thought.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you're thinking about this. You see it coming, but you don't recognize what it is until it's like the last second, as it's literally like in your face. As you watch as a Nergigantes comes charging forward from the back of its tank into this, from one corner to the corner you're next to, and just bashes into the tank itself, and you see it's like little. You're seeing the light on its light is that it's completely faded on its panel. And as the Nergigantes just kind of looks at you and just stares at you with bright glowing eyes, you notice one thing as the lightning kind of arcs through it, because you've been seeing it kind of for the most part in grayscale, though I guess you do have the light from Kahootie. Its normal blue scales are black. The lightning spikes on its back are arcing blue and black. This thing is monstrously big, and it is definitely not something you've seen before. At least not this kind of Nergigantes. It is terrifying.
I cast mending on the glass.
A tiny little bit of it starts to seal up and repair. Actually, mending. Give me mending spell really fast.
Takes a minute to cast.
Well, not even that. I was just curious.
1 foot. I can do a break or tear no larger than 1 foot in any dimension. I can only fix the pieces of it slowly.
But surely.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to read the whole spell then. So yeah, it does repair that little small chunk of it. It just kind of just stares and just wiggles back and forth. at
Is
you.
it roughly the same size as the Namiel?
Bigger?
Yeah, I would say with that alone, I'm like, all right, well, as I cast mending and slowly back away, I think we should leave.
Yeah, as you finish doing your tests, Flight, Mage comes back. Flight, the water is sterile enough. There's a little bit of bacteria. There always is going to be, but it's quite distilled.
Oh, okay. Did I ever figure out what creature it was that was rotting on top of the ceiling?
It's a Ludroth. It's an adolescent Ludroth.
Okay. So because like after I finish my research there, I go over to try to meet up Mage, and I'll probably meet him halfway.
Okay.
I'm like, we need to leave. We need to go.
Why?
There's a black Legiacris in a holding tank that is huge. More importantly, it's cracking.
Have what? Can what?
I'll explain as we leave.
Would you not think that as soon as it breaks, it's going to attack the nearest things, and with how fast Legiacris is, it's going to catch up to us?
These containing glass are pretty strong, but it's breaking out. I tried to fix it, but there's no way it's gonna hold for long.
Have you figured out what's up with the cells at least?
The cells are most like. So I'll explain it as we leave.
Okay. As I start following you.
Okay.
And then I explained that these are most likely holding cells that were frozen until they needed some kind of specimens. But considering the state of the area, whatever power that was freezing these things might be slowly giving out, causing each containment unit to thaw.
I have an immediate thought that switch I turned on is this. I might know what caused that.
That switch is still on, by the way.
Yeah, I never turned it off. That's my main concern. It's like, Mage. If we can turn that switch off, maybe we can turn the power back on. But more importantly, if we can turn the power back on, the power is back on.
I think for the sake of containment, power being back on might be the best choice.
It's all the way on the other tower.
I guess we should hurry.
As they flee from the area, it sounds like. All right. So, as you make your way back, we're going to head back to the other two at this point. Gerathor, Shaseth, you have just finished kind of going through your bodies. It's been probably about 40 minutes for them also. What do you guys do after you finish kind of collecting all these things?
Well, we've got all this fancy shiny stuff, but it's been a little while since we heard from them, so maybe you should check on them. They're not the most, resilient.
Yeah, let's start heading towards the way that they went. Maybe swim a little bit out of the town so it's easier to see us.
With our luck, or with their luck, they're finding another, terror of the deep to find.
I know, right? They can't find loot like us.
No. So we gather up our stuff in a nice bag and mosey away.
Okay.
Grave robbing successful.
Woo!
Archaeological dig.
Right.
Finders keepers.
Okay. So, as you are making your way towards them, you see each other kind of swimming. Flight, or I guess Mage hurriedly swimming towards you all, as Flight's kind of following behind. Not as concerned, I feel like. I could be wrong on that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Flight.
No, I'm much less concerned, as I feel like I'd probably turn those cages back on.
Yep. So you see them as Flight, like, instead of like Mage and Flight going towards you, Mage is like pointing, or Flight's pointing to a direction where that one building is at, and they just kind of start swimming down that way as you, Gerathor, and Shaseth eventually make it to them. Probably meeting right at the entrance of this other building.
So hey, we found stuff.
You could say that.
I was told there's a black Legiacris.
Oh, scary.
That's
And-
racist.
Quiet you. I'm gonna go turn off. I'm gonna go turn off power to a place. I'm gonna turn on power to another place. Excuse me.
As I described to the guy, Chris, as this massive creature, bigger than the Namiel. Kind of can't help but wonder if maybe the Namiel wasn't the one they were talking about in the wall drawing.
Well, maybe you should have let it out.
Its
You know.
scales were as black as the abyss itself, and the
Maybe-
lightning was paired up with almost this kind of negative energy. It wasn't just standard Legaicris. It was a deeper blue.
Sounds like something we should report to the guild. Speaking of report, can you check this out for me as I hand out the spear?
Wait.
There's another one too, but this one's more important.
I'm like, sure, I can give it a shot.
The other ones are
It'll
guns.
take me a moment though.
That's fine.
I'm gonna go
You
turn
can
off
do
the
it while,
power
like,
immediately.
Swimming, right? You don't have to sit still.
Yeah, do while
Yeah,
you're swimming.
it just takes some time to cast a ritual for
Yeah,
identify.
it's just like chanting incantations, I would assume.
You cannot cast while trying to swim and pay attention to everything else. No.
Well, you can't just like casually be swimming.
I mean, are you guys casually swimming
Just like-
right now? Mage, I don't feel like Mage is in the right mindset to casually be swimming right now. So, but either way, you guys are at the building, so you guys are planning on turning the power off, I believe is what it,
After I said, excuse me, I have a power turn off, I immediately left the group to go turn power off.
Okay. So you have the switch. You have it currently in the down position. Where do you?
They only had up, down, and middle. I'm
Right.
back in the middle.
Okay, I was going to ask you where you put it. So you put it back to the middle, and you all kind of feel like 'cause there's always been kind of like a slight tingly-ish feel to it. That tingly-ish feeling has vanished from all of you, except for Flight, because Flight is inside the building currently.
I guess can I
The
as much as like you said with the identify thing, as much as I'd want to do it, I'd want to try to get the power situation solved first.
So with that, all the lights in the city vanish. It is back to darkness.
I want to see if I can't go to that room and try to make usage of any of the language that's there after everything I've figured out. If there's like a straight up blue words on or off kind of thing, like to try to read the whatever
Yeah.
they have around the building.
So as you so you're going into the room where Flight's at, or are you looking at the room itself? Just so I'm clear on what I'm trying to give
both.
you information on.
I guess both. As I'm going towards the room, I want to see like if there are signs about what the room serves a purpose for, to try to realize is this even going to work?
Okay. So yeah, I guess like you enter into the building. There's nothing on the outside of the building. You enter in, and there is an Aquan sitting atop like the main like little entrance area before you go to like one of the rooms where Flight's at. It just says the name of the city, which I haven't made up yet ever. So if you want to name the city, you're welcome to. Stream, think of a good name and I'll use it if it's good. Or you guys. And then it just says, the city of, station of defense. This is definitely a building used for defending the city. Mm-hmm. It's very literal.
When did you get in here?
This Flight comes walking out of the room he was in.
So, Mage, you can read these words now, right? What was I want to know, what did this down position mean on this switch?
So he brings you into the room. So, Mage, do you go in and look at him, I assume, yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so as you look in, so there is wording in this one. And it says the upper one reads water removal. The lower one reads barrier.
So top one means barrier, bottom
No.
is water removal.
Top is water removal, bottom is barrier. Because you had it in the down position.
I had it in that position.
Then yes. I thought you had it in the down position for some reason.
No, I flipped it up because I didn't know it was switch. Switch is usually down.
Right. So I stand corrected on that. I thought it was the other way around. I apologize. So yes, down is water removal. and up is barrier.
In order to get out of here, we're gonna have to press down to remove the water and most likely get out. This whole place was sunk.
I'm sorry. I flipped the switch down. There's water removal. I pressed the drain it button.
No, you did not.
Darn it.
Unless you do it right now. You can do it right now. You're more than welcome to.
I actually do ask. Is this a literal drain? Do I have to worry about Gerathor or Shaseth being sucked down?
I don't
before
know. Do you?
I'm asking Mage.
Sorry.
As I say the same thing, I don't know. I didn't
let's-
see any. I didn't see any actual drains in the city, if I recall.
Let's call them in and into the building first, so we can figure out what's going on.
I think considering you don't feel the effects of the switch when you're in this building, it's probably safer for us to be in here when you drain it.
What do you mean you can't feel the effects of what's in here in the building? I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Well, you go invite him in, and I'll flip the switch.
Just wait until we get back.
He leaves the room.
And
I flip
after
the
he
switch.
After he says that, it's like, darn it! I hope he wouldn't said that.
I go get the other two.
I guess we come in. I do at least.
Gerathor, do you go in?
Yeah.
Liar. All right. So as you all enter into the building, you flip the switch, Flight.
I flipped the switch.
You flip the switch, and you all begin hearing the sound of like a toilet flushing. As none of you can see it, but you can hear the water rushing away somewhere. And after about 2-3 minutes, it's quiet. The water drains out of the building you're in. And it's dry, it's breathable air.
You know, the funny part is the switch just removes the water. I don't see another switch to put water back in.
Well, the middle part of the switch, but the middle part seems to be deactivated. So maybe if I put it back in the middle, the water comes back.
I'm just making fun of the function of like it's either water drain or pulse, but you can't have both. So you're just like switching back and forth.
Look, they could be an ancient civilization of outstanding brilliance, but they can still be dumb in the most archaic ways.
They collapse for a reason.
Speaking of which, this probably put the power back on. We've probably used the version of the power into this again.
I'll put
Is there anywhere in this room about power? Like, is there any signs of power in this room as well?
Give me an investigation check.
I will help you with it.
Go for it. Advantage. 24.
I get 24. Well, we still have the other thing anyways.
But Mage's investigation.
Womp.
17.
Oh.
You would have also, he's right, you would have advantage on it too. Okay. So you both look around for power. Flight's kind of pointing out different things of interest and stuff like that. You're like, no, it's not that, not that. And finally he points something, and you see like a power usage, I guess, is what you would see. And it is currently sitting at 0. And you probably take this as power usage in this building.
Yeah, I'd rather keep that at 0. I can only imagine what it would have been if that barrier was up.
I slowly turn my head to the switch.
Mm-hmm.
How much do I want to live?
Hmm.
Quite a lot, actually. I very much like to live. Yes. By the way, how was your twos? What were you guys doing when we were gone?
Grave robbing.
Archaeological excavation.
There's the right words.
Tomato potato.
No. America says only one thing. We take it for the right reasons.
So we found these this glaive and these guns, and they seem to be slotted, but we don't know with what. Oh, and some money, but that's ours.
Are you sure the money is even going to be good enough now? Like, it's ancient civilization.
Worth more,
It's
probably.
gems and shit.
I guess so.
Less
It's Chuck E.
actual
Cheese
currency.
coins.
Wait, I have to go find it. I can't remember what they called it.
Okay, so what do you guys do?
I'll take a look at the parts and the weapons and see what they are.
Okay.
Perception or investigation?
To look at the parts, it would be an attunement to them technically, or like in the identify spell.
Oh,
I can do it. But as I tell everyone, I'd prefer to do it once we get out of here, as we are still technically stuck under the ocean.
Oh, that's right. We're underneath the ocean. I completely remember.
Glub glub.
You would also have, I think, what do we call that black guy, Chris?
The
We
missile?
don't.
We still have that, and if it breaks out, then we have that in the city with
There's
no water.
so that's
Sure,
not-
but I guess.
What are you concerned about? You cannot fly it.
Well, I cannot fly it, sure, but I've also seen the guy can throw lightning out of their mouths, so I'd rather not have that be thrown at me.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine.
It wasn't fine the first time it did it earlier today.
Also, without knowing what the actual creature is, we don't know just how good it is on land.
True.
Also, there's untold amount of research that's still probably in that building that I would love to get our hands on. Imagine new weaponry.
Side eyes,
I,
guys.
I point to the insect glaive.
Okay, imagine a more pointy stick.
So I'll get to it once we get out of here.
Why have one stick when you have two stick?
How are we getting out of here, by the way? Because the water was our way out.
Well, if we rest long enough, I have a way of at least lifting one of us out at a time.
Well, the way we came back was the way we came in was a whirlpool, and I highly doubt that was their capital entrance. There must be another way out of this place that's actually convenient.
As you guys are speaking, you hear a loud crash. Outside somewhere.
Who wants to play cat and mouse?
Oh no. Oh,
Is there a window or an observation?
Yeah, there's
area in
windows and
this
stuff.
building?
Yeah. The research one was like closed off, but this one you can definitely see through and stuff like that.
I'm gonna go look out the window.
Okay, you go look out the window. There is you're on the second story because Flight had the ballista on the second floor that he found. So you go out there and you kind of look around and stuff like that. There is a large dragon skull sitting like a building's been crushed by it. The entire building.
A large one?
Yeah, gigantic as fuck. Literally crushed the building. Residential building.
Do I see pieces of the area falling now that the water's drained?
Looking, I mean, you kind of see a couple of, you see water pouring down from the crack you guys came into, and it's just kind of pooling, and there's like it's not filling up the place, but you definitely see water pooling down. You see like little bits of rock, and by little bits, probably like 5-foot chunks of rock here and there, like falling, but not like it's not crumbling or anything like that.
Where'd the skull come from? Did the skull come from the top?
is that Namiel's skull?
I mean, it was not that big.
No, I'm asking. I asked that to Gerathor
Sorry.
as I turn around. Is that Namiel's skull?
What?
As he's holding it.
He's admiring his glaive.
So shiny.
From here, I'd like to do is it history or nature check to figure out what kind of animal that skull could belong to?
History.
20.
Okay. Flight. I'm looking at it, books you've read. Probably a great predator of the Arakakra race, the Merakakra race. It looks like a Laoshan lung skull.
That is indeed a great predator of my race. Slow-moving mountain that is easily killed.
Easily avoided.
The ruiner of your homes.
I look at that. Have you guys ever heard of the Great Mountain Dragon?
Probably.
In stories, but I don't know what a skull would be doing down here.
All I know is that, hey, Gerathor, you ever like Elder Dragon bones? That's just one really big one.
It's probably worth like
Yes.
at least 3 Elder Dragon bones.
At least 3 Elder Dragon bones. I look at how big a residential house is in like comparison to what our houses are.
They're roughly about the same.
Okay. Well,
At
if
least
that's
3.
still the case, that means this is close to probably a child. That thing is still as big as a house.
I mean,
Oh,
it's
4
like
is the thing.
20. I mean, because your home's, it's like 20 feet, 25 feet across. Let's go 25 foot like square area for a residential home. It's a big ass
Alright.
skull.
I
Okay.
look at Gerathor. I look at the skull. I look at Gerathor. I pull up my mining pick.
No. I pull out my mining pick and it's slightly more gold. I'm like, we're gonna use mine.
I
I think
dive
you
out the
guys are
window.
missing the bigger picture here.
Look, there's a giant elder dragon skull over there. Who's gonna pass up this chance? And I immediately start looking at the other door, and there's not a giant hole coming out of that building yet.
I am climbing down the wall.
I
And they're
literally
already gone.
dive out of the window.
Standing leap. Whew.
From
Vault.
here,
Garrett-
I'm gonna try to look for an exit.
Okay, so
I
you start
have-
looking for an exit.
As Gerathor and Shaseth run, he's like, "Hey, wait! Take this talisman. It gives you double mining."
Climb.
Catch. So
I've already got that technically.
so as you all go running as Mage looks around for a place. The residential spot is like kind of along the eastern like cliffside over there. As so yeah, Mage, you start looking around. You see the water itself, as everybody else kind of getting close to that side too. The water is drained right to like almost a lake now, where that underwater like cliffside is. So there's the water there still. There is obviously the way out potentially through the crack above you guys where you came in from. Maybe there's sea caves down below in the abyss of the water. Maybe there's something in the town. You're not entirely sure, but that's kind of what you see, Mage, as the rest of the group goes charging towards this giant skull.
Oh,
And
I
as
actually didn't leave. I just threw the charm at them.
okay, well, those two go charging towards it. And as you both charge towards it, you're running towards the face of the skull. Like, yeah, and you get to the skull.
Hey, Mage, I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
So, I didn't see that thing in the ceiling.
No, neither did I. And especially
Oh,
something like that, we would have seen.
Yeah, and bones don't usually float.
That's why I was trying to look up earlier, wondering where did it come from.
You give me a second, I'll go fly up there and check.
Okay, fly goes flying up. Gerathor, Shaseth, you're at the bones. What do you do?
A thorough investigation to see if I can get anything out of it.
All right, give me
Kill the
investigation.
system.
All right, investigation with advantage. It's probably actually really annoying for the stream now. I just realized I'm flicking that thing around right next to my microphone.
That's a lot of bones.
25. Yeah, I mean, looking at it, it's a gigantic fucking bone. You're like looking at the skull, like looking at the horn. Like, how could I do this? And I think honestly, your best bet, you're like the eye socket, because it's it's that or like the mouth. Where do you want to go? Because the mouth, you can chip off the side. There's at least purchase there to get some bone from. Eye socket's an easy spot to chip it to. The horn's too tall to really break it off the top of it.
Pull the teeth out.
I think we will start with the eye socket.
Okay. Gerathor starts climbing up. And as you get to the eye socket, Gerathor, you get ready to swing your pickaxe, and as you do, you notice something. You can't see the city or the rubble through the eye socket. There's something there.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
What do you do, Gerathor?
Well,
Is it still like an empty eye socket?
It's empty to a point. Like you could still there's not like something like bulging out of it or anything like that, but there's definitely inside where the eye socket is. You cannot see through. There is something there. Go to the other eye socket. There's something there as well.
You got any light?
I could throw a torch in there.
what do I
suppose
see from
water.
above them?
Oh yeah, you're still flying up. Flight. Give me a second here. I will.
Toss a torch down there.
All right, so
Through the
Gerathor
socket.
grabs a socket. You throw it. It goes about 2 feet in, and you hear kind of a groan, a cry of pain, as Flight, you're flying up to look, and then you look down, and you hear the noise, and Gerathor, the skull starts to move, starts to rise upwards. What do you do?
I am sitting on top of it.
Yep, I'll sit on top of it too.
As they're both on the skull, it begins to stand tall and taller and taller and taller.
Crap.
Made a mistake.
Until you're about 50 to 60 feet in the air. And then you kind of
Giant enemy crab.
you watch as like from the side you see these gigantic claws kind of just like stretch out and starts to like walk down towards the abyss of the water.
I just stare. I'm like, what is that?
I'm gonna make a history check.
Go for it.
I'm gonna try and mine into the eye socket while it's still there.
Gerathor just looks at it, shrugs, minds.
I will also do history check on it.
Okay,
That's a
so
big crab.
Shaseth, it's a gigantic fucking crab. Why does Shaseth care about crabs? They're not dragonborn. They're not better than him. Fuck crabs.
They're tasty.
They're tasty. That's all that matters. Flight. You recognize this, as the predator, or not necessarily a predator, but not even an enemy, but like the. How do I want to describe this? It is for the Aarakocra. It is something they never see, but it's one of those things like if you ever had a chance to eat one, it would be the most delicious thing ever. It is a Shengaron.
Birds don't salivate, so I'm gonna salivate anyways.
You're a humanoid bird. You're allowed to salivate. As it's starting to make its way down. As Gerathor, give me an athletics check. Okay. All right, Gerathor, as you slam down on the eye socket, cracking through the bones, two of them fall off. As you gather them up, as it starts to shake around both of you, and you're watching you're seeing them trying to hold on, Flight. As I need both of you to make me acrobatics or athletics checks, and I need to look up my stat blocks. I expected you not to stay on the damn thing once you knew what it was. So I didn't know
You expected wrong.
I expected them to flee in terror, but fuck me, right?
What is fleeing?
I'm like the only one over here who's like, idiots.
Yeah, it really makes
trying to look for an exit.
Fuck.
I was looking. I just wanted to know why a skull fell from the sky. Well, now I got my answer. Deliciousness fell from the sky.
I'm pretty
So
sure
they
that
can
God
fly.
fell from the sky.
36. So as you both go flying off the sides of it, you are both descending currently 60 feet down.
It's gonna hurt.
You got any reactions or anything you can do? Because technically, this is on.
Yes, I am going to leap towards the ground because I won't take damage because of it.
That would be an action. In this case, you're falling too short of a
No,
time.
it's a bonus action.
It had to be a reaction in this case. If Mage was there, you'd be fine. So
How far away are they from me?
you're up near the ceiling, Flight. You do take reduced damage. I don't know if you even take any fall damage as a dragoon at past level 10. But Josh said,
no, I just take no fall damage.
So yeah, so you land all fucking superhero style. You knew it was coming. You were good for it. But Shaseth takes 22 points of bludgeoning damage.
Can I try to roll with it?
No, that would have been acrobatics versus, but you did athletics to try to hold on. So, no.
Ow.
I'm surprised I got yeeted off with a 24.
Gerathor lands, and I just faceplant.
Here, look, Shaseth. As you both, and it starts to kind of climb down the cliffs down into the water that's now remaining there. It's like a lake.
Did you get anything?
Yes, as I run over and grab the 2 bones.
You already grabbed them before you fell, but yeah.
Even better.
So
I just
this creature went to the lake, right?
It went into the lake, yeah, and just kind of vanishes under the water.
Okay, I fly down to Shaseth and Gerathor.
Okay.
I have a wonderfully terrible, awful idea.
My nose.
no.
It includes you possibly getting more bones, if not a carcass of a big black Legiacris.
No,
Why not?
because that thing didn't seem interested in anything except fucking off back to more water.
But it's delicious.
No.
As much as it probably tastes good. Did you see the size of that thing?
You see the size of Gerathor?
Yeah, its leg was bigger than he was. Around.
That's what all the delicious meat is for.
This
But
is
now
not...
I know it's here, I guess we'll just come back and get it later.
Yeah, maybe
Sure.
in like 2 years.
Real time.
Where's
Yeah.
it gonna go? Up?
Down.
Around.
Oh.
What are the bone fragments that I got?
They'd be
Or are
elder.
they
They're
undefined?
there's elder dragon bones.
Hell yeah. I add them to my collection.
I'm gonna fly back to Mage now after these two are happily celebrating their victory.
I say fly around and see if you can't find a way out of here. You can cover more ground.
Alright.
Is Elder Dragon bone armor?
No, it is an. I actually don't know.
I thought it was both. It can be no.
It
I
is
think
armor.
blood is both.
I was hoping specifically.
Elder
we could get
dragon
touch
bones are upgrade any armor. Yeah, it's armor. Any rarity armor. Blood is a weapon.
if you want to throw that towards
Stupid.
me, since I'm very armor based.
I'm also armored.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
You guys can community. Yeah, you guys can community fucking do your resources or something like that if you want.
Yeah, we'll do it
I-
later. We'll talk about it later.
I put one in and pull out the Elder Dragon blood that we had.
Mhm.
Because 1 for 1, and I'll put the other one in there as community.
Alright,
As a fun fact, the Shen Galrin's rechargeable attack does an average of 99 damage.
Easy peasy.
Wouldn't even kill me.
Weak.
would,
It would kill me.
would do nothing. That's average, guys. So let's
That's it.
let's see.
It would one shot me two
That
times
was a
over.
really shitty one. There you go.
18d10.
Still not dead.
Jeez.
Fuck.
Still not dead.
I mean, you're dead from the second one when I recharge in the next turn. So.
yeah, but
Continuing on.
didn't
Yes.
one shot.
As I'm traveling around looking for an exit.
Oh, the best part is it is a 30. It's only a 30-foot radius around it.
It can spawn 10 Hermitors as an action
Yes, it can.
It's an action.
Yeah.
repeatedly.
Yeah.
Every turn just
it-
gets even worse.
It's part of its
So many
multi.
crap.
It's part of its multi attack.
That would suck.
It is.
It is.
What?
Oh, that's even worse.
One
Yes.
of it's 6.
Is it 1d10 or is it? You know what?
It's
We'll come back to this
1d10.
conversation later.
It's 1d10.
Good, 'cause
It's CR30 for a reason.
Oh man, too good. Yeah, it
That's
fucking
funny.
summons crabs every turn. It's based off the from the Monster Hunter Online version of it is what it's based on, which is
Ah.
I had to watch videos.
Yep. So I'm gonna look around to see if I can find an exit since I have a 50-foot flying speed.
Okay, so you go flying around for an exit in the cavern while there's no water, nothing. You occasionally still hear a as you get closer to the research facility. And
I
as
will shout.
Hmm?
I actually will shout down the mage saying, "Hey, if you can, go turn those cages back on."
I don't know how.
And I'll be down there in a second once I find an exit.
okay. Flight, give me an investigation check. 25. Okay. So as you are flying around, same thing kind of as Mage, you see the water pouring from above. There's one exit. There is the underwater, where the Shengaron just traveled into. That is another potential exit. You're not entirely sure where it would go or where it would leads to. And as you're looking around for like buildings and stuff like that, you spot something with your 25 in this case. Similar to the hunting grounds portal you use to get to the ocean in the first place. on the far like western side of the area. Where it leads, you don't know.
All right. Well, taking that into account, I'll fly back to the rest of the group.
Okay. As Mage, are you making your way towards the research with everybody else? What are you guys all doing?
Is there a way to turn the power on that's in this building?
I mean, you can look around.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the building itself, there is like the lights are off on the outside now. Inside the building, you're still hearing the loud. Gerathor and Shaseth, are you with Mage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are hearing this thud and stuff like that. As you look in the reception room, Mage, everybody else, you don't see any kind of like power source or anything like that. Do you go deep?
Is there any form of power lines? Like something that transmits power from one location to another?
No, there are no like signs of power lines. There's no like junction boxes or anything like that down below on the ground for like underground type of like lines. Nothing like that.
How do these people get power to their buildings? Man, I want to break something.
I'm assuming I show up at this point then.
Yeah, you show up at this point.
Mainly, thing big wall of glass around something that's already partially broken. You could go break.
Well, I want to break a machine so I can break it open and see where its power is coming from.
Oh,
I pull my tools out. Yes.
I guess let's dismantle something that and hope that it's not connected to something important, so we can see what's inside to find out where it's getting its power.
I look at the door that we have over here that we can press the button to close again. Like, just in case that thing breaks out, let's not use this one.
Yeah. Boop, reception desk, doors open. You guys were kind enough to close them with a gigantic hole as you left before. That's the polite. That's the polite thing to do.
Hopefully, like guy Chris is less intelligent.
How do I get through this door? I'm never gonna make it through. Oh no! It's a nice window. I can see the sun. How am I gonna get through the door?
Yeah, it's like the aliens from Signs.
Yeah.
So we go to one of the control panels that's attached to one of the off doors that we were going to investigate later on that we just never got around to yet.
Okay, so you're gonna go through one of those doors. Okay. You open up a door, and inside you see what looks to be like small animal like cages in this case. Like, you know, like for like experiments and whatnot. In this room here. This is the room to the right of the laboratory, I guess. The alchemist.
Okay. Any panels in here?
Yeah. There were reasonably
Right.
panels, yeah.
Start dismantling that panel to see if with Mage right there to see if you can see anything with written down or anything.
Yep. Make me a.
There's a tool check of some kind.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what kind of tool. Tinker's tool, so I think makes sense.
Yay. Which attribute do you want me to use?
Your wisdom. Because this isn't intelligence. This isn't like knowing something. This is like trying to use your instincts and your, you know, your artificery stuff to really try to naturally figure out what you can do. Well, 14, you kind of start going through it, and you know, with Mage trying to like look through stuff as you're kind of taking it apart. And as you do, it starts to spark and like get pissed off at you. Do you continue forward trying to take it apart? Right now, you kind of like are starting to pull the panel off as this is starting to happen.
Okay, so as the panel gets pulled off, I don the armor and continue again.
So you don the armor and you just pull it out, not like rip it out, but you pull it out because right now it's starting to spark and like you're starting to see like some like issues as you're starting to pull it apart. Do you continue or not, or do you put it back?
I ask Mage first and foremost, like, should I continue?
We need to find out where the power is coming from so we can turn it back on, or at least find a way to power it.
Well, failure is the mother of discovery.
Okay.
Another Tinker's check.
Yep. Make another one.
Ooh.
30. Okay. So as you start to see the sparks, you kind of start to pull it off gently, and as you kind of look, you're like, fuck. And you see you're in a position where this is gonna hurt no matter what. But
hey,
you,
Gerathor. I'm gonna bring him and get the part.
Gerathor, he calls you over.
All right, I'm gonna need you to do something since you're such a strong guy.
No.
You don't even know what it is yet.
There's like
Already
sparks. There's sparks and shit going off. It looks
Look,
angry.
aren't you a latch? You're unborn. You can take a little.
A
lightning.
little bit of smoke.
You know nothing about me.
You're right. I don't. That's why I want to see if you can take lightning.
We got plenty of shocked with that Namiel. I think it's your turn to get shocked.
After he says that, it's like, well, okay. Well, I'm gonna ground myself so I don't get shocked.
Okay, so you attempt to ground yourself so you don't get shocked. As you, how are you grounding yourself?
Grabbing
So,
a metal pipe.
I am mostly made. I'm mostly covered in metal.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. What do I have? I want to see if I can use my armor to divert the shock into another object.
Okay, what other object did you look around? I mean, there are, like I
You still
mentioned,
got cages in here.
there are metal cages. Yeah, I did mention that.
Yeah,
Same as,
I'll have a cage get shocked instead of me.
okay, so you're trying to act as the current. Okay, so as you do that, you have a one hand grabbing the cage with the other hand, and you just rip it out. It just sparks fly in all directions. It's almost blinding light for the rest of you. You shield your eyes. You feel electricity just course through you, flight, as you do this. And you kind of regret your decision a bit. But at the same time, I gotta figure out how much a lightning bolt spell does to you, and then reduce that by half.
Technically, he's not grounded. He's just conducting into something else that will then come around and conduct back into him. Because the case.
I mean,
not
his
conduct-
feet are on the ground. I kind of was going with,
if there's no rubber or anything of the sort, there is no grounding.
Look, I
The
can't
marble
think of the
floors are
marble.
still kind of wet.
Well, it was a good attempt. Let's see here. So, Flight, you're going to take. There it is. You take. I'm going to still do half because I'm feeling generous. You take 10 points of lightning damage.
Damn it, Aaron. Science is better than you.
How dare you say such fucking blasphemy? I am a god of this world.
I turned the Gerathor, and since I have a helmet on, I can't shoot up the puff of smoke. I'm just gonna say, well, now I smell crispy.
Fried chicken.
So, as you now have the panel off.
Well, as you can see, Mage, there's definitely power here.
So
Why
the
is
wires are broken and like they're split apart now. He literally tore it off, so there's whatever inside.
I think you broke it.
Well, of course I broke it. You'd expect me to know how to use technology I've never used before.
I mean, that's your whole thing, isn't it?
Can you use a weapon you never used before?
Somewhat.
Well, somewhat for technology, I guess. It's not like there's a user's manual anywhere here, or is there a user manual in here in Mage?
Did you look for one?
You open the first drawer to the left. Fuck. No.
I did all
Why
I
would make
could.
you so salty?
There is not.
Was there any sign of a control room anywhere?
I mean, you guys have only looked through a couple. You only looked through 2 rooms plus the one that was busted open. I mean, in this case, there are still wires, and they go somewhere.
Look for the live wire and see which direction it goes, and do my best to figure that out.
Did you mention the teleport thing you saw?
Oh, no, I did not, because I immediately went inside with you guys.
Yeah.
As I'm getting shocked, I'm like, oh, by the way, there's a portal of some kind.
Why didn't you lead with that?
Well, scientific discovery. Like, you guys can't pass up giant bones. I can't pass up the idea of finding something new and interesting here.
Well, we have to make a
Bones.
choice. We could leave now, or we can try to contain.
I think we should leave.
Yeah.
It
That
just means we're going to
thumping,
come
stop
hunt these
it.
later.
Have we heard the thumping recently?
Yeah, you just heard
Yeah.
it. Like, I mean, it's the first thump in a little bit, though.
Maybe since we diverted the power from the other building, the power came back here. Especially since I just got shocked, I'm pretty sure that's true.
Most likely.
I still think we should leave. It's
Yeah.
better to notify the guild than die.
I look
And
at
then
point
nobody
at my
knows.
party of lack of adventure.
Maybe you gotta tell him there's a black Lagiacrus here
I-
and a Shengarin.
I just mined the thing on top of a giant enemy crab, and you're telling me I'm not adventurous.
Look, you're still
Let's see.
standing here instead of fighting it. It's not enough. But okay, I get up with my cocky
Birds,
attitude
man.
of Americans. All right, I guess we're good to go then. Unless that thing needs power too, in which case we might be here for a little bit longer.
I'll try to open the door and see if it works.
Wait, which door are you trying to open?
We're trying to get out of here. We're gonna go through that portal.
Okay. So as you start walking back to the receptionist area, the door is closed.
Oh
Eldritch
yeah.
Blast.
I look
there
at
a hole?
you.
Yeah, but there's no water to swim through it.
No, there's not.
I fly up there. I'm like, Mage.
I
Grab
make
your hand.
I make an alley-oop for Gerathor.
I just vault myself through it.
Oh, fine.
I reach down.
I appreciate the effort.
I reach
As
down
I
and
do
help
back,
Shaseth.
do like a cartwheel through this gap.
And you hear another.
So Mage is through.
And Flight's gonna carry him through. Mage is light, so I don't see any reason why Flight couldn't carry him through.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll just
There's no
climb up the
danger
wall.
currently going on, so
I'll just climb up the wall.
okay.
Use my spikes.
You have climb speed, yeah. Ruining the nice marble.
As we're going to our portal, I'm gonna look for a town sign so we can finally name this place.
You go to the sign, you find the sign, and the one part of the sign that's crumbled is the name of the city.
It just says Patreon.
It says,
Patreon hasn't
"Welcome
closed yet."
to Crumbled."
Hey Mage, you want to mend this?
It says right there,
Yeah.
"Welcome to Crumbled."
Hello, we're in Crumble Valley.
It's the city of Crumble.
It's full of crabs.
It makes this place really unappealing if you say it like that. But let's go. Check the portal and see if it doesn't require power for some reason. If it requires input or something to take us.
Sure. So, I mean, as you're going to it, it's the same kind of thing. It's a sigil on the ground itself. There's no necessarily like obvious signs. There's not like insert coin here or any kind of there's no pedestal either. Though you do give me an investigation check.
Okay.
15. You do see even after all these years indents. Well, you see, you see a crystal on they're not corners because it's a freaking circle, but north, south, east, west. You see small crystals. They're about yay big or so, like indented into it. They are black.
Hey Mage, which way is Castle Shrade?
Why would you ever ask that question?
This is Castle
Um,
Shrade. Welcome to Baravia.
Can I make an Arcana check on the crystals?
Go ahead.
Excuse me.
I'll help you.
Do
I'll
I
give you
still
the
have
advantage.
advantage with the
Hey,
box cutting?
we'll, this will probably be like the last thing because it's realistically been about an hour.
Right as the magic fades.
Mhm. Fine. So looking at it, you get the tiniest amount of like magical essence still within these, but it's minuscule.
All right, let's give it a boost. I'm going to put one of my first level spell slot, and I'm going to pour my magical energy into the crystal.
Okay. So as you're holding the crystal and you're pouring your energy into it, you feel the crystal stab outwards into your hand as it then begins to drain you start to watch it turn like blood red as the crystal fills up, as it steals your blood. As you take
Crystal.
5 points of necrotic damage. The-
Am I at full health? Because right now my thing says full health.
you have not rested since
Yeah,
the
when you
number
level
of
up, it heals
I
you.
don't know what I was
No.
at.
you guys would level up when you level up typically when you take a long rest, which is why it heals
I
you.
know. I mean, the roll 20 heals
Oh
you.
yeah, you were almost
don't
dead.
know
I know
if
that, Mage.
I know
I
I
was
couldn't take one
unconscious.
more hit of its thing, otherwise it probably would have killed
Then
me.
let's put you at 1 because I think it did about 7 on average or something like that. So let's just put you at 1 right now. You're still alive, but you can feel the pain, but that 1 crystal glows.
I guess that's
What?
a little bit of blood from each of us then, Mage.
Got one health.
Grab another one, and just it's like a diamonded like crystal
Yeah, like
design.
yeah, it's
I imagine like a-
it's jagged.
I just
I had imagined a Waco
stab it
Cone
into my
Flip would be.
hand.
So you stab it in your hand. It hurts. You take. I can't roll because I put an F there for some reason.
0 success.
You take 1 point from necrotic damage. You stab it into your hand.
Does it start filling up?
It does nothing.
Mage. Didn't work.
I tell him to hold my hand as I'm gonna have to turn. All I have is level 2 spell slots. I'm gonna turn them into sorcery points and turn those back into level 1s.
I'm gonna give Mage whatever's left in my lay on hands that I had from last time. I don't actually know how much. Probably like 20 or something.
Okay. So major heal for 20.
4. Okay, I have 3 level 1 spell slots at the cost of some level 2s. So that's enough for the other 3 crystals.
All right, so if you're gonna so we're gonna roll a d10 for each one. So as you go to the second crystal, Mage, you hold
Can
on.
you try and
Like,
pump into
how
it
much-
and let it stab me?
How much of the lay on hands did it heal for?
20.
20. I have 21 health.
And then first one, and no, he couldn't course it through you to do that. It's
No, he like goes
mean-
in through
well, I mean,
the top and
do,
then it's stabbed downwards.
do you want to try,
Yeah.
Mage? Do you want to
Unless
try?
Mage doesn't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I still have enough points to make more level 1 slots.
Okay, so Gerathor is holding on to it. Mage is, at the top, and as you touch it, you cast a spell. The spikes jut upwards into Mage's hand.
I tried.
You take 4 points of necrotic damage as it siphons your blood from you.
I look at the crystal. I look at Mage. I look at the bird.
Yep, Mage,
Smile.
you take a level of exhaustion.
Oh yeah.
Come over here, bird boy. Pump this crystal full of juju.
I look at you. All right. I will pump it full of juju.
So, so use a spell slot, flight,
Yeah.
as long as you got one. You take 6 points of necrotic damage.
I'm still okay.
And then you do a second one.
Yeah.
All right. You take 3 more points of necrotic damage.
I'm a little bit less okay, but I'm still okay.
As all 4 crystals are now bright red.
No wonder why everyone here died. They kept having to stab themselves to get anywhere.
Well, let's put them back in the slots.
Don't mock them. They're advanced.
Advanced darkness.
This is not just regular
Hey, man.
darkness, it's advanced darkness.
Just because they were Satanists.
So,
Now, how do we make this thing work?
I assume you put the things in the slots. Square peg round hole.
Insert coin.
Yeah, everybody take your crystal.
'Kay.
All right, take my dark crystal.
okay.
Do we do this in synchronicity?
Yeah, safer that way.
Okay, on 3. 3.
Oh man, one of you was like, "Oh, what?" And just slightly later than everybody else, but it doesn't matter. It works. As you all stab in, the sigil itself begins to glow I guess in a sense, the blood drains out and it begins to fill the sigil as it glows a bright red. You step inside.
Ominous. Yeah, what the heck? I'll do it.
So what happens? I die. Top in.
You hear a loud thud again as Shaseth steps in, vanishes.
Well, your options are to die in the portal or die with that thing.
Next.
The sigil slowly starts to fade.
Everyone go.
I push Mage in with me.
Push both of them in.
So as you all vanish, as you reappear on a small island above the sea.
Well, guys, that was a fun trip to a hole at the bottom of the sea.
I'm gonna murder
Need a
you.
raise.
Found a frog in a log at a hole at the bottom of the sea.
No, we found a crab.
I think the crab found us.
I mined the crab. Therefore, I won. Gerathor 1, crab 0.
So where are we?
Give me a second. I'm gonna fly up and get a bearing where we are.
Yep. So you fly up, look around, and you see yourself semi-close to the hunting ground. You know, probably, I don't know, a mile or so away. Your eagle vision, letting you kind of zoom in and find exactly where you're at. You're not too far from where the hunting grounds portal is at.
Come back down. We're about a mile away from our hunting ground portal. We could head out of here.
Yep. And then
Okay,
this.
which way?
Are there any coconuts around?
No.
Can't find Wilson then.
Well,
Which,
the sigil under you all vanishes.
oh, one way.
Did anybody remember to write that down?
Did I take a picture of it with my not camera?
Did you?
I'm asking the DM.
Give me, you know what? Give me a intelligence check, and let's find out. I'm always willing to go. We thought about this as players afterwards. Yeah, you did. There's always that roll to see if you remember or not after recall. So I'm always open to that.
I'll jot down the images in my notebook.
Okay. And too bad you guys
Yes.
couldn't bring one back with you.
Who says that? I got a partial potion effect over there. I can try to make you later.
I ask which way camp is.
I point in the general direction.
I jump in the water and start sprint swimming.
There's a mile.
This is
Wait for me.
catch up.
They made you to lift.
Yeah. Feeling a little tired after that blood ritual.
Good. By the time we get there, they'll be 20 minutes behind still.
Flight, give me a athletics check. Let's see how long you can hold Mage for.
Athletics, you said?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. You're able to carry him the whole way with no real struggle. You maybe at the end, your talons are getting tired from holding him. He's kind of dead weightish. Even though he's trying to grab on, but he is exhausted as shit. So about halfway through, Mage's arms go limp. He's done. You.
I'm gonna do something very much in character for me. As he's getting really tired, I'm like, "Hey, Mage," I just drop him and feather fall him as he's done hit the ground.
Splash.
You just slowly sink into the water like a parachute. If you had a parachute on, and then Flight comes, picks you back up, and you guys continue on. You make it back to the camp. Portal's there as you step into it, returning back to Poke Village. After roughly a day or so on this hunt.
Come back
So cold.
to town.
Yeah, you guys are soaking wet. Just step back through the portal, fucking dry yourselves off, step back in.
No, I'm gonna shiver my way to the guild hall. I don't have icicles hanging off me.
Excuse me, I gotta go hibernate. It's too cold.
As you return in, as you enter the guild, Shirley is there, sees you all, and goes, "Well, hi, hey all. Glad to see you're back. Hope you had a good, successful hunt.
I dropped the Namiel head.
Perfect. Good for you, Gerathor. I'm glad to see you got another trophy for yourself.
We saw
You're
a Shen
so
Galrin.
very jaded.
Me? Why would you say that, Flight?
I look at her. I look at the table. I look at her. I look at Gerathor. I look back at her.
I'm excited for you all. You did a good hunt. I'm excited. Good job. I'll go get you your money. Be right back. Need any food? Towels? Look a little
Yes.
cold.
And yes.
Oh,
All right,
And yes.
warm towels. Be right back. So she goes and grabs the money for you guys. She walks on back. You watch as she hands each of you the towel. She casts a little magic and warms the towel. Hands each of you one. Here, warm up a little bit. Here's your food will be out in a couple minutes here. Anything else you need?
Where's Jacob?
Oh, Jacob's out on a hunt right now, honey.
Oh,
What's he hunting?
Oh, nothing too dangerous. Don't worry about it too much. Something simple a hunter could take care of himself. He's just after a guy at drones right now.
Okay, good.
He'll be
Something
fine.
called a Devil Joe. I don't know.
Yeah, angry pickle. I think is what they called it. I don't remember.
Everyone gets back up from the table. No rest for the weary.
God fucking damn it. Just the SpongeBob name. Alright, I'm gonna head out.
Good. Let's get something to eat, some drink, and I look at my watch. It's been exactly 1 day. We still have a week. We still have 6 days to go.
That you do. Rubix is still hard at work. He was up all night working on that, trying to figure out what he can find. So yeah, I guess we will. I'll be back later. She just takes a yawn as she walks away. And goes back to doing her work. So,
Did we tell her?
about
you guys haven't told her anything. You need to call her back or something like that. Be my guest.
Yeah.
The
I
jazz.
assume that she's the one that we direct that kind of information to, and she passes it up the chain.
What's another day?
No. Call her back.
Yes, Gerathor?
Well, as I pull out part of like the bone that I grab,
Uh-huh.
there's this giant crab with a giant skull on its back. This is part of the skull.
That's cool.
I don't know what it was. It was really freaking big. Down in the abyss, and this. From what they told me, I didn't see it.
The
so they could be
watery
just
abyss or the
completely-
actual abyss?
The watery abyss.
Oh, okay. Just gotta be clear on that.
Yeah, that's all good. And from what Flight told me, and Mage told me, a black scaled Legiacris
Interesting.
in a enclosure. As I look over to them, being like,
what might have been an ancient civilization city in a hole in the bottom of the sea.
She looks at you and goes, so not only did you find, you killed what you had to go for, but you also found some ancient technology. And also
Yes.
some dangerous monsters, of course, which, what else is new? Fuck.
Mm,
Okay, well,
Two monsters that are akin to an elder dragon, if not elder dragons themselves.
it was a really big crab.
Okay,
we're talking like 60-foot crab.
I will inform the guild mistress about that all. As you know, anything you find down there is more than welcome to keep. It's part of your reward for your hunt. But if you need information, like some research done for something you find, obviously that goes to the guild and that's shared with everybody. That's kind of how it works. But okay,
This is just kind of like a giant red flag of this was in the water, like a watery abyss of an ancient city.
I mean, the only good news is that it's if it's down way under the water, it's most likely not a threat to our charters for our ships, for Poke Village itself. So that's at least. I mean, it's always good to let monsters just be monsters if we can. So
It's
if it,
true, but we did find the Namiel there, and if we were sent after that and found it down there, it's not too far away from 1 + 1 = 2.
I mean, I do agree with you. I'm gonna let the guild manager know. She will decide what to do with that information, and you guys get some rest. It sounds like you had a rough time.
Yes. As I throw my face into the food because I assume it's just arrived.
Yes,
Gerathor, your face is meant for your face can do more than just have food on it.
all right, I gotta figure out how much gold you guys get. Because
I ate an entire chicken leg whole.
Well, you're a snake. I can believe that.
There is no bone.
Hey, guys, I got a quick question for you.
Mm.
So the only way to get out of there that I can find, besides the giant hole in the ceiling, was the teleporter. So that Lachiacris is just gonna probably end up fighting that Shengorin.
Not necessarily. That Shen was going somewhere that most likely was its natural way of getting out in the first place. That was the other exit we didn't check out. So it could be that it could escape from there and the Lachiacris would follow.
That is a possibility. Also, I pull out my not camera. Well, they got a picture of its circle, so at least we have a way to get back there.
That's always something. New hunting ground, maybe.
you each get 1,000 gold pieces, by the way, for the hunt.
Nice.
And then on top of that,
We found some golden jewels in the coffin.
mm-hmm.
Oh, you wanted to take a look at
yeah.
weaponry, didn't you?
Yeah,
Jeez,
I was gonna say I could identify them on the way here.
Well, we stepped through a portal, so we basically were instantly here. But if you want to do it
Okay.
now,
Yeah.
So, a couple of the things you find some art objects, from some of the stuff you guys got from the graves. So you got a rosewood bowl engraved with floral vines, worth 40 gold pieces because it's pretty. You got, I'm gonna put this over here. I'm not gonna look at your guys' faces right now. You got an obsidian scepter engraved with a labyrinth. You also found, scrolling through all these, I rolled up a bunch of loot tables to pick stuff from. You find
I have an idea for that scepter.
a gilded wooden orb set with a rosette black opal, worth a pretty penny. This one was one you found in the bag of the person with the guns. This is the one valuable thing you found on him outside the guns themselves.
Nice.
And then you, and then these are the gems that you found in one of the in the bags with the guy with the insect glaive or the skeleton. It could be a girl. So from the Alexandrite down.
That's a nice 1825.
For that scepter, can
Yeah.
I soak it in ink and roll it in parchment so I can
26,
map out
43.
that little labyrinth?
Yeah. So you have a map of a labyrinth.
Yeah, I'll save that for later.
Bringing Baphomet back.
What if that labyrinth happens to be attached to a place in the underground sea?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. So those are all the things that you found.
2633 overall.
So for the
None
next
of these are
6 days, obviously you guys are gonna get a long rest today. This would technically be, you'd be into day 2 after your long rest. The information you provided has been taken into consideration. The guild's been informed of what the guild manager determines is worth informing them of. Though that's beyond your guys' pay grade at that point, unless you specifically try to find out. But you have about 5.5 days worth of downtime. That since we're coming close to that time-ish, if we can do a little, I'm gonna do experience and stuff now, and then you guys can kind of determine if you want to do any kind of downtime actions. If there's something else you want to do, like if you want to do like a solo hunt with Jacob or something like that, Gerathor or anybody else, you could do, like you could say you did that with him during that time, and you could share some of the loot with him, whatever you guys solo hunt and stuff, and whatnot. The insect glaive itself and the gun, I'm going to actually look into the relic system that Heavy's made to kind of determine what's on it, because I have not actually made those yet. That was all this for the most, I had plans of what I wanted to do, but some of this was just on the spot. This is what I'm going to do, and I'll have to figure it a little bit out later. So for the insect glaive and the guns, I'm going to do the relic idea and determine what's on there. I'll get you guys that this week or within the next 2 weeks.
All right.
Looks like 5e tools is dead.
Nope,
Again?
I got it.
Say again.
5e tools looks like it's dead.
I say it worked for me like yesterday.
I
It's
got
still working for me right now.
I have an error of 521.
It could be down again.
Are you using the mirror version?
Maybe. I'm
Yeah.
just using the.
Loads perfectly fine.
Oh, I mean, yeah, 5e tools loads for me too.
Maybe your internet's dead.
Is that gold each? We each get an additional 2,633.
No, that's how much
No.
all of the gems were totaled.
So that's gem total. Okay. If you guys want to split the gems up, you can do that.
For that bottom one.
Yeah, for all the Alexandrite down to obsidian. So you guys can figure out how you want to split the gems up, or if you want to just have a community bag for gems. I think I gave you guys I have not here. We'll do this.
Do we need gems for anything in specific?
Bag. I mean,
Let's just go with
Some
add
spells require-
an extra 600 to each person, and then we'll put 232 in like a community bag.
The Save Jacob Foundation bag.
I feel like the only gem worth saving is the Black Star Sapphire and the Gilded Wooden Orb. Just because of their price, I feel like at some point they might be worth its while. Otherwise,
The Black Star Sapphire, maybe, because some spells use gems as.
and it
shield.
is a sapphire, so sapphires I think can be used.
because
The
I
wooden
feel like
orb-
if it's cheap enough, we can be like, yeah, I'll just buy a gem of that price. But I feel like buying a
They're
gem
mostly-
of price of 5K or 1,200 might be harder to get.
Yeah, they're always more expensive.
Spells are usually like diamonds or something, aren't they?
Yeah.
There's a few
Or-
other
or
ones,
Very
gems.
specifically.
It's like or a gem worth at least this amount.
or the dust
Yeah,
or something like
if
that.
we take off the 12, then just take 3. Add 300 instead of 600.
358. And then I made you guys have a community bag under your character sheet section that you can all just put like group loot in there easily
I've
enough.
been keeping it myself. Oh, well.
Well, I figure you can put it there now, so that way everybody can see it too.
Mm.
I thought.
Just
Community
add an
bag,
extra. Yeah, it was 232 gold into.
I'll
the
put
community
everything
bag.
in there as after our downtime.
Gerathor, I just want to bring up that
Community
a white ping is like the worst color ping because like on these maps where it's white, you won't be able to see your ping. Like and then like a white spot, you know,
I like to note the community bag is broken.
you're broken. Oh, you know
Well,
why it's
so
broken? Because I didn't give
had
you guys the
found
ability to edit it.
I also found out that if multiple people try to edit the same handout at once, it only saves one person.
Well, I would say have one person in charge of it, but this way everybody can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you guys should all be able to edit it and stuff.
Okay, so for downtime, I'm going to ask my 3 other players. All right, I'm gonna get working on some of the stuff we need. I heard you needed adamant pills and things like that.
Adamant pills are always nice.
Adamant seeds, aren't it?
This is the question that
Or
comes
is
to
Billy
Amellwind. This is the question for Amellwind in this case. So for building magic items, I just need to usually pay the gold amounts. Do I need to actually have the pieces to do it via your crafting or just the normal magic crafting?
I would say because it's your class skill, you shouldn't be able to do it for the cost of it. I feel like that makes sense. So versus having, well, you can assume you get the materials in some way. Because I actually do have like traveling vendors can now have resources and stuff.
Okay.
They're not super common, but yeah, I would say it makes sense because it's specifically a class feature that lets you do that. If it wasn't a class feature, I would say no.
Alrighty.
Oh, what was I fucking doing? That's what I was doing.
So yeah, I could build you an adamant pill within a few hours. I could build you an adamant pill in a few hours. There, Gerathor, filters, armor skin. There's quite a few things I can build in a few hours. So you just gotta send me you just gotta tell me what you want. I'll try to get it done. Nothing like demon drug though. That's gonna take way more time than I got time for.
I'm confused on the gold amount. I don't know what I'm adding from those gems.
300.
Just plus 300.
Yeah.
And you each get 2,950 experience.
Gerathor's
for
doing
some
math.
exploration stuff.
How much? 2,500.
950.
$69.
Nice. There's that. So we have the answers for his downtime. Anybody else want specifically to do anything, or you want to do something that's not related to downtime during this time frame too? You want RP that you want to talk about, research, something else?
I would probably hunt with old mate, and he would keep the loot, and it would just be a perfecting skills, experience grind kind of thing. if
For
possible.
for Jacob?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to do a solo downtime hunt, and you can pick one to like something that's thrown the two of you to hunt based off of your difficulty, probably like -1 at a minimum for like maximum CR.
I will
So
ask.
do it as
Gerathor.
like a level 11 versus a level 10.
So it would be, so you'd still be level, because you're level 10.
Yeah, so I would pick as of if I was level 11.
No, no,
One
because
level
Jacob's
lower.
there.
one level lower, not higher.
Okay, sorry. So 9. I need to check what the DC rolls are.
I like to, because Gareth already has him to send. I want to have Jacob go out with my double mining
Mhm.
trinket so that he can pick up double ores himself and see
Okay.
how many ores they can bring back and give me some.
I'm gonna slot my Legiacris plate into a trinket
Okay.
for later.
You gotta just play it into a trinket.
So now I can switch between wanting to be immune to fire or resist electricity and thunder.
Okay.
My other
I
4
will
trinkets.
slot the fell wing into my weapon
Okay.
and also hand the thing to Jacob. I remember we were giving him something. Just can't remember what it was.
I have it right here.
It was a
Hold on.
Namiel thing, something, right?
No, but it was a
Yeah.
Legiacris Claw.
Ah.
That was it.
It was doing 1d6 extra lightning damage.
Yeah, I think we see like at one point we see like probably next day or 2 days later. Like it's a long hunt for Jacob to be gone for just hunting down a Gaiadrome. But you know, he's still inexperienced, he's still learning and stuff like that. But he comes back, you know, a little cut up, got a cool scar on his face and stuff like that. Comes walking into town all proud. And he sees you guys, he goes, "You're back.
Yep.
How'd it go?"
We all died.
That's cool.
We got better, so I guess it is.
That's
cool.
why it's cool. Wait, where's Mage?
He's
Oh,
over
he
there.
actually did die.
I liked him.
He did.
Well, he got back up again too, so he's over there.
Okay.
Well, he hated you.
No,
Well-
I you see, he starts pointing to the Gaiadrome. It's a decent sized one. As the Palicos are like bringing it in on the cart.
I'm so proud of you, buddy.
It's all thanks to you
Good.
guys.
Here's a
Guys.
present for your hard work. I drop the claw, Raptor claw, so he gets to have a nice present reveal.
He kind of like, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
open it.
And he starts like tearing it open and shit like that. I don't know what this is.
I wrap
It's,
around, buddy. Let me tell you the story about a great lightning creature in the ocean.
It's a Legiacris claw.
That is so cool. And he starts he forgets to say thank you. Just like runs to the smithy like, "Hey, I got something else." Was running.
I go with him, and I guess that's the time when I get my fell wing in,
Okay.
and he'll have his claw.
Yeah, and then at the complete, then you guys go on a hunt, and it's like, you know, that bonding bro time at the campfire, sitting there just telling stories. He's telling about his one fight with the Gaiadrome. You're telling him all these ridiculous ones that you can remember. And then eventually you guys return back. We'll find out successfully or not if you want to make your rolls, Gerathor.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what I want to hunt.
That's fair. Yeah, you take
Yeah,
your time on that.
I was thinking the same thing, that I might want to do a solo hunt.
Mm-hmm. You guys aren't hunting
Not for sure.
Altroths anymore, so you have to actually like think about it.
Have to
Well, I
work for it.
still have uncommon things. I still need to
Mm.
upgrade my stuff.
Oh, another thing I wanted to test because you brought this up. I was gonna make faux monster parts with the same effects.
What do you mean?
We brought that up a while back, and I don't remember how far we got in the conversation of. I'm gonna try to make a sort of synthetic monster part just to see if I could.
I don't think we're gonna go with that one.
Okay.
Because I mean, you're still able to make the magical effects from the ones you have as trinkets, so it doesn't limit the artificer anyway with that.
Okay.
We can treat CR4 as a medium counter. Nice.
I will also remind you guys that for any rare, you can now purchase rare or lower materials. They're
Oh,
just,
yeah.
they're $250 each.
That's why I sent the Jacob with the ore thing, so he can bring me back half the ore that he doesn't need.
How much do I need?
So you can
I
do
think I
that
have like
too.
none.
Yeah, I don't have anything to upgrade my weapon.
Well, good news is you guys got a bunch of gold.
I'm at both rare.
Oh.
Same.
So it's confused me. Okay, never mind. I have one medium monster bone and one monster fluid.
No hard armor spheres,
Nope. I always pass them to everyone,
right?
so I never actually had any. So I need
8.
18 times 250.
I have a monster bone
18.
plus
18
rare
is
weapon.
far too much. You only need 8. It's 10 to
I thought
get.
you need 10.
Yeah, you said 18 of them though.
Yeah, because I need 9 for armor and 9 for weapon.
You don't have either upgraded?
Nope.
Fuck.
I always pass it on to everyone so they can all get upgraded, and then whatever's left, I'll get it.
So you need
I've got a monster bone plus to give away.
45.
Is that for very rare?
No,
Rare,
it's
rare, yeah.
it's rare to.
Okay.
If you guys have any,
weapon.
let's see
That's right.
here.
Tough bone is very rare. I've got one.
So 45. You need 4,500 for just the parts. Plus, what does the upgrade cost? I think it's like 5,000.
1,000?
I can't. I think it's higher than 1,000.
It was 1,500.
Was that what it is?
Yeah. So it wouldn't buy 1,000. It would buy 500 each time, I believe.
If I could find it. Where are my hunt monster rules? Damn it! Here we are. They're in here.
How many? I already bring the calculator up to see how many of these adamant pills I can make.
Nope, it's not here.
1,500 for armor.
Maybe the same for weapon then.
It says 1,000 for weapon,
1,000 for weapon then.
so 2,500 plus that
45, so 7.
7,000 total, and I have 3,000.
And you got a nice wooden orb set with a rosette of a black opal for 5,000. I'm just saying, guys. Sell that puppy. Get mage both armor and weapon rare.
That'll be up to you guys.
He is our heavy spellcaster. I don't mind if we do that for him.
Sure. He can use
Doesn't
more
bother me.
stuff.
Yeah. And then split the other. Everybody else will take 333 gold pieces left over from the opal cell. And then mage is at 0 gold pieces, unless you guys want to give him the extra 1,000.
I'm at 38 gold.
He's at 38 gold pieces.
Extra how much gold?
So you each get 333 for each of you from the opal cell, and then he would get his rare armor and weapon.
I'm at 4702.
Nice.
42.55.
3,478. But I'm going to spend money to make money in this
I
case.
think
'cause,
Azrar has like 12,000 gold or some shit like that.
what do you need money for at this point? Give it over to charity.
He's got a lot of money. He doesn't ever buy anything. Yeah. So let's see here.
I am gonna hunt an Azarus.
If you guys want to try to sell, also you could spend a day selling like 10 materials to make some money too. Don't forget, there's also
Oh,
that
right.
money.
Yeah, I guess I'll do some of that too.
So
I
you
already sold.
guys can figure all that out off the stream because we're at noon. And we started like 10 minutes later than normal, but I don't think there's much more left unless anybody else has anything else they want to talk about at the moment. And then we'll fast forward next session to a week in the future.
I bring Mini Orc back in his new form, and he's going to look in higher def.
High def mini orc.
Yeah, so you should show everyone on stream.
I thought you were going to drag him out.
Well, I'm going to drag him out now.
Oh,
but you should
it's
show
too
everyone
late.
on stream.
No, now there's too many orcs.
That's how
Boom.
good I am. Made too.
Boom.
It's achievement, baby.
Delete
I,
yours.
Baby.
As I look at everyone else, I made him in higher res somehow.
He's so less pixelated.
Nice.
He'll be even less pixelated when I update it again with the exact same picture but higher quality. So, for those watching, I want to say thank you guys for watching. I'll be back in 2 hours for my second game with Team Meizutsune, aka Group B, to see how their hunt goes, because they're going to be starting their hunt today. So I'm excited to see where that goes and which one they pick, because you guys had 2 options. They had 2 options. Will they end up down in an ancient civilization's place? I have no fucking clue. We'll find out. That was all completely made up on the spot. Oh, that actually reminds me. The paper you got, the experiment consists of sleep herbs, a Malfecio's gland, and a sleep sack from a great boggy.
Could you like throw that in the Discord so I can remember that?
Yep. Herb. Plus something else that is missing.
Sleep slack from a great baggie.
Can we do
Oh.
duo hunts and increase our ability to challenge things or lower the DC?
I have no. I was doing with Jacob because it's fun RP wise, but I've kind of avoided duo hunts at the moment. I have to figure out all the math for that one still.
Okay.
Eventually, that was a plan though.
I'm gonna give Jacob several quests right now because I need parts.
I just rolled for the 3 materials that I got from.
Ooh, yeah, you Jacob had a great fucking hunt.
What'd you hunt?
Azurus.
Azurus.
Ah,
So-
Where's my armor
I
not
was
working?
mostly just going for the honey, but I did not roll any honey.
That's how it goes. But once again, though, those watching, thanks again. Back in 2 hours. I'll see you then.
Hi, hunters.